Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fields of Mistria. We are playing another 100 days in this absolutely fantastic cozy game, which I completely adore and love so far. There have been a few more content updates since I last played, and as the full game is releasing in less than a month, I thought it would be a good time to jump back in, play a bit more, and get caught up before the 1.0 release. I'm so freaking excited. You have no idea. It never ceases to amaze me just how much there is to do in this game already, and it hasn't even officially released yet. I have fallen hard, guys, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I've always found it fun to set a few goals for myself each time I make these longer videos to help myself focus on making more progress in the game than I usually would. And here are the goals I set for myself for this playthrough. I want to complete the Mines storyline by reaching level 100, obtain at least one of the seasonal animal variants, purchase the bathhouse state, yes, don't judge me, and finally, I'd like to complete the museum. We have a bunch of fun tasks to do, a lot of story to progress, and an insane amount of fluffy dialogue to witness. So let's jump back in and begin our 300-day journey in Fields of Mistria. All right, we are back in Mistria, everyone. Oh my gosh, I miss this game so much. And I forgot how incredibly cute my house is. There have been a few updates since I last checked this game out, and the final 1.0 update comes out in August. So I wanted to play catch up before it releases because we are finishing this freaking game and I am playing more of it afterwards. Don't you worry. I have so many things I want to do and create. Fields of Mistria has become one of my favorite games, and it's really something special. All right, it's been some time since I've last visited this world, so give me a bit of time to find my bearings. And while roaming around the farm, I caught a new bug called a Furby. It says it's a common wintertime bug, so maybe they added more bugs to the game. I can't really tell, but I think they did. I think I'll be able to tell at the museum. And it seems that way. There's also a new category for bee insects and bug pheromones. What? The ruins insects are also new, and I think I recall hearing them making the legendary insects easier to grab this time around. I'll make a list of what I need to catch so I don't miss any during the winter season. And it seems I'm actually missing most of the fish found during this season, so let's try to catch some of them today. We have a few requests to complete in our inventory and a heart event from Celine, and there were some new features added in the game we need to explore too. And new dialogue, I think. How I adore the dialogue in this game. For now, let's go back into town and check in with some of the villagers. I love talking with people in this game. It's just so fun and lovely and lively feeling. To start off, we learned another one of Hayden's favorite gifts. I have a whole document showing their favorites that I'll be referencing. We will be completing everyone's favorite list. Don't you fret, my friends. I then checked in with the boyfriend and he was being really kind and sweet. Ugh, I love it. Spoon feed me the cute dialogue. It's been some time, so I can't recall what combos are new or not. They're all adorable in my eyes, though. I picked up a request from Juniper for 3 capybara bristles on the board, and on my way back to the farm to drop off some items to make room in my inventory for fish, I found another new bee, the flower bee. Starting off this playthrough strong. Next to the pond, I found a mist cloud, and it dropped a mist lamp. Looks pretty. All right, I'm gonna fish for the rest of the evening to look for some of these darn winter fish. And after a few hours of running around by the ponds, I found yet another bee, the sweet bee. 3 bees on the first day? Heck yeah, we love the bees around here. Around 7 p.m., I finally caught one of the pond fish, the alligator gar, leaving 2 left for the winter pond fish set. And directly right after catching that big fellow, I caught yet another big pond dude, the giant tilapia. Super lucky with finding bugs and fish today. The last 3 winter fish we need to find can only be found during blizzards or snowy conditions, so we're doing pretty good on our first day back. I went ahead and donated everything I found, foraged around town, and found another freaking bee. Oh my god, what is going on today? I found the moonlight bee, a rare nighttime bee, He's pretty cute, like a little firefly. I then went home to save because I already played this day once and my game crashed, unfortunately. And I caught a bunch of bugs and didn't want to have to start over 3 times in a row, but it's saved, so we're solid. I went to check my mail the next morning and I have quite a bit. I received a glowberry cookie recipe from Reese. Hayden has auto feeders available for purchase. Oh my God, my sweet Hayden. You just made my day. I will have to grab some of those for myself. Once I start making more money, that is. Nora has a seed maker available as well, and that sounds really useful too. Truthia has fish traps set up by the pier, and I can place fish bait inside to catch unique fish, which is a new category at the museum, so we'll check that out as well. I need to meet Luke at the inn for some bug-related tasks, and Adeline at her manor to talk about even more improvements for the town. Raina let me know I can make my own soup pot to have at home, which gives me a free meal each day to refill my energy. And finally, Errol has something called an artifact replicator available at the museum, which will take artifacts and exchange them for replicas of said artifacts, which I can then decorate my farm with. I love that. Cool, a bunch of really fun updates and features added while I was away. I'm excited to start checking them all out. I went to the beach to check out the fish traps, and I think these are what she was talking about. I'll need to figure out how to craft fish bait so I can place it inside. But for now, let's go to the Saturday market and go on our weekly date with March. I've missed going on our dates, and I still need to buy the bathhouse date from Weedle, which is still wild to me. I'm too poor for that right now, so let's just go on a cute little picnic. God, it's so adorable. All right, Mary has some more crafting recipes to purchase, so I bought a few and then headed over to Lewis's stall, and I was so happy to see there were a few new items. Not much, but still, it's something. So I purchased all of his winterwear. Taliaferro's cooking challenge of the week was a crystal berry pie. Easy peasy. Or actually, maybe not. Looks like I don't know how to make it. Darn it. I wanted to throw it in his face that I can cook better than him. Just you wait. Once I know this recipe, I'll be unstoppable. And actually, after talking to him, he told me how to find the recipe. What a moron. So I'll go ahead and chip a crystal berry when I get home. I could have sworn I already did that. Guess not. I love seeing all the citizens of Mistria diss Taliaferro and Weedle though. I went around talking with some of the townsfolk, and I guess I finished a crown request from last playthrough and just never turned it in. So I went ahead and did that, and got some renown and a golden treasure box containing some money and curry. I ran home to ship a crystal berry so I wouldn't forget, and then headed to the inn to see what Luke wanted to talk about. Isn't he just so adorable? God, I want to squish his little cheeks like a granny does. He had a little letter from the Royal Society of Entomologists, congratulating Mistria on its recovery efforts and contributions to etymology. Basically, I found a bunch of bugs. As thanks, we were offered to apply to their apiary and terrarium program. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this feature on their socials a while back. Ooh, I'm so excited. With apiaries, we'll gain access to honey, which we can use for cooking dishes or selling for a profit, and we can place bugs in the terrariums, which will produce other items we can use on our farm. That sounds lovely. But in order to use said items, we need to ship even more bugs, and they only ask for 20, which isn't bad at all. I'm gonna get that done right away. I knew it was a good idea to hoard all these bugs. So I gathered 20, placed them in the shipping bin, and we'll continue that quest tomorrow. Since we're being productive today, let's also go see what Adeline wants when it comes to improving the town. There was a small town meeting going on in the dining room, and just as it was about to kick off, the kids stormed in, and they had an agenda. Old people? Rude kid. The Dragon's Guard wanted to be included in the meeting, and I found it funny how Nora said that Raina was supposed to keep them occupied with chocolate. These freaking children. Adeline seemed defeated and just said whatever, they can stay. Probably more of a headache to get them to leave at this point. To get back on track, there seems to be a lost and found system integrated into town. That way, Ulrich won't lose any more of his rocks. The kids said they wouldn't mind helping out with the lost and found items, and so they officially got a little important task to take care of in town. It's kind of adorable. We'll take a look at the chest after the meeting is over. And I guess that was the whole meeting. Okay, well, it seems the lost and found box, we can pick up items left floating around town. So things we can't fit into our inventory, and we can claim them every Monday. That's really cool. And other items can appear in the box as well. I like this feature. It seems rather useful. I then changed my look a bit, put on the earmuffs and the puffy jacket, and it looks pretty cute, honestly. And from there, I decided to fulfill a few requests. A gobby for Holt, 2 pine shrooms for Adeline, and some wood for Landon. And when I went to sleep, I ranked up the town to level 69. Today is Henrietta's birthday, so we are absolutely 100% going to give this sweet girl a gift. I need to be besties with her. Like, look, this is pathetic. 2 hearts? I'm dragging my feet behind in this friendship. So let's give her a loved gift, shall we? According to the Mistria tracker I have, she loves strawberries. How cute. We'll give it to her after our chat with Adeline. She came by to tell me about the animal festival. Wait, is that one of the festivals I didn't get the chance to attend? Oh my God, count me in. There will be booths, a petting zoo, and an animal competition to see who has the best pet. Of course I hear about this on Henrietta's birthday, the proudest, most stubborn chicken I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Well, we may be besties in the making, but competition is competition, and my chickens are also a sight to behold. Let's head over to Hayden's, and I swear this chicken knows what's up. I hope this dang festival doesn't ruin our blossoming friendship. Well, she seemed to really like the strawberry, and now we are at 3 hearts. Happy birthday, Henrietta. All right, let's go find Adeline and turn in the bug requests so we can unlock terrariums and apiaries. So we got 1 of each and the crafting recipes for both as well. And we got a little overview. We can create different types of honey based on the types of bees we place inside the apiaries. And the same thing can be said with the terrariums, which will produce bug pheromones and fish bait. Let's go get them set up on the farm. I grabbed a mixture of different bees for the apiary and 4 rare bugs for the terrariums, so we'll come back and check up on these guys in a few days. I kind of want to start improving my friendships with the townsfolk, and that begins with giving them liked and loved items. I honestly don't mind looking up what they enjoy receiving for gifts. So I went around to each character, giving them items they adore, stopped by to see what March had to say, and I like that these characters will sometimes have longer conversations with you where you can choose a response. Your choice doesn't change the dialogue too much, I imagine, but it's still nice to have an actual conversation with them sometimes. Anyways, I continued giving out gifts to all my friends, increasing friendships here and there, and that's what I did for the rest of the evening. All right, today is Hayden's birthday, which is super close to Henrietta's. And so we'll stop by to say hi. We also have Valen's next heart request available, so we'll get to that eventually as well. I cooked a few dishes to hand out to both Raina and Reese, harvested my beets, and then checked the lost and found box, where I grabbed a snug bug, a mouse hole, and a broken bottle. The mouse hole, can I use that on my farm? That sounds kind of cute. While handing out gifts, I found another mist cloud and received a mist cushion. I'm gonna have to find a way to decorate using these items. All right, I gotta start thinking of ways to make money. I need to start selling my animal goods, planting more crops and trees, and buying more animals. Let's start by going to the general store, where I bought more beet seeds and purchased the seed maker, as I can see that saving me a bunch of money in the future. I picked up a crown request on the board for 250 stone, a request from Nora for a breath of flame flower, and then made my way back to the farm. From there, I gathered a bunch of my animal goods to sell. I get a bunch of eggs, milk, and feathers on the daily, so I'm okay with selling almost everything I have on me for now. I need the money. I kind of want to put my barns and coops over on the right side of the farm, so I think I might migrate all of them over there shortly. And at the end of the night, I made over 30,000 gold from the animal goods I sold. Not too shabby. I also ranked up the town to level 70. I got a notification the next morning that a legendary fish could be caught, which means there's a blizzard outside, so today will be dedicated to fishing. I wasted no time making my way to the beach, and I didn't catch the legendary at first, but I did catch the last winter ocean fish I needed, which was a king crab. So I spent a few more hours fishing and finally caught the little winter legend, the last legendary fish I needed. So happy I found you, you cutie patootie. I then headed straight to the pond area because there is one last winter fish I need, and it can also only be found during the snow. And I caught him my first try. Yes, I'm so happy I got that done. I'm gonna try to fish for a few more though, since it doesn't snow too often. Once it reached 9 p.m., I made my way to the museum to donate the fish, completing the Winter Ocean fish set, the Winter Pond fish set, and the Legendary fish set. I'm on a roll, you guys. I received some crafting recipes, some furniture, a cute octopus plushie, a fish plush toy, money, and food. Not a bad day! I do have a legendary bug that I need to catch, which can only be found when it snows. So next time it snows this month, we'll hunt that little dude down. The next morning, my apiary and terrarium both asked me for items, a crocus flower and a pine shroom, so I went ahead and grabbed both of these requested items and received my first batch of honey and a bottle of rare bug pheromones. I then went into town to enjoy today's animal festival, and when I say this is my type of festival, I'm not kidding. This looks lovely. Friendships may be fractured after today, but sometimes that's a risk you gotta take. Ulrich asked if I was ready to compete against his pet rock. Please never change Ulrich. March must be a pretty patient and supportive brother when it comes to Ulrich and his obsession with rocks. I could never be mad at this man though. He's too precious. For the small animal competition, I chose to enter Cinnamon since he is the chicken I have the most hearts with currently. And I swear, this game has the absolute best dialogue. I am never bored. Always laughing and smiling with what these characters say. I just crave talking with the town. It's one of the most charming aspects of this game. All right, next, I entered Gravy into the large animal division because again, he has the most hearts of my larger animals. At the souvenir stall, I bought a recipe for golden cookies, golden cheesecake, and a few adorable animal accessories. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. And I did run into the petting zoo, but I was highly disappointed that there was no way to pet said animals. Yes, I can technically do that whenever I want at mine or Hayden's farm, but that's different. This is the animal festival, and I was told there would be a petting zoo, and there is no petting going on. False advertisement. So I talked with Josephine, and it seems the judging competition has to do with both heart level and color rarity. The two animals I entered have high hearts, but are basic colors. So we'll see how this goes. The small animal bracket is up first. Lewis's rabbit came in third place. Dang it! Freaking knew I wasn't ready to take on Henrietta. I came in second. Just you wait, girl. I'm coming for your blue ribbons and your trophies next year. All right, the large animal bracket is next. Can I at least squeeze a win out here? Also, for the record, I don't think the judges are impartial at all. Mary's horse came in third, and I seem to just live in second place. Well, who the heck is the winning animal? What? Who the heck is Sunshine? Hayden, I'm gonna shove my foot where the sun don't shine because I swear this competition is rigged. Gravy should have gotten first since your chicken already took first in the small animal bracket. Sorry, I'm just a tad bitter. Farmer to farmer, I'm happy for you. I gotta prepare for next year though. I need all of the colors. I did get some prizes at least. And I'm sorry, a chicken plushie and a duck plushie. What an absolutely delightful prize. You instantly put me in a better mood. That was cute. Still bitter about my almost wins and not being able to pet the animals at the quote-unquote petting zoo. But after that was over, I checked in with Ulrich to see how he was doing since Rocky didn't place in the competition. And it was honestly a wonderful conversation to overhear. Next, I used the bug pheromones I received from my terrarium and caught a new bug called a queen's birdwing, donated that to the museum, and went home to water my flower garden. I then shipped 250 stones for the crown request and made my way to the carpenter shop where I purchased more large barn and coop blueprints because this animal festival has shown me that I need to start taking this aspect of farming life more seriously. We're getting all of the animals, all of the colors. I'm not even competition to her. Your pride will be your downfall. I then built the new barn and coop over on the right side of the farm. I want to start making this area cute and start transferring my other barns and coops over here as well. Today I'm going to continue working on setting up my animal area, and doing so took me all day from transferring all my animals to daycare and back, building the structures, and so on. Took a lot of running back and forth. I also thought it was time to add some new animals on the farm, so I purchased 2 capybaras, named them Tater Tot and Au Gratin, and bought 2 ducks, naming them Chickpea and Pinto. Even though it may kill me to do so, I'll probably end up selling some of my chickens soon to make way for more of the smaller animals. I then harvested my cauliflower, discovered a new dish, went to say hi to my new animals, and aren't these so small and adorable? I'm in love with them. From there, I made a few seeds with the seed maker from my cauliflower, planted a few more for the season, foraged a bit, and then ended the evening by ranking up the town to level 71. The next morning, I harvested all of my crops, got a few faux recipes alongside them, and 3 magic seeds, which I went ahead and instantly grew, and I got a jasmine backpack, a cauliflower backpack, and a frost lily backpack. I decided to equip the frost lily one for now to match the winter season, but it kind of just looks like a cape because my hair is in the way. I made a few more seeds with my harvested crops, planted them, and sold the rest for profit. From there, I checked my mail and I had 2 letters from Adeline. The first congratulated me for reaching Emerald Star rank, and I got a golden treasure chest which contained money and a lobster roll. The next letter asked for me to meet her at the carpenter's shop for the next town upgrade. Ooh, exciting. And finally, we have another heart event with Reese. I freaking love Reese. Our mutual love for birds makes us soulmates in another life, or perhaps another save file. Let's go into town and collect my rewards. Love seeing my health bar increase. And the town board had a request from Darcy for a pomegranate. All right, we have a few quests to get to. First, let's go to the carpenter shop, where we'll encounter either Reese's next heart event or the next town upgrade quest. And first is Reese's heart event. I walked in and Reese was talking with his Uncle Landon about tools. You know, typical carpenter stuff. And then I said hello and we were off to work building the birdhouse. Oh my God, I'm so flippin' excited, Reese. Let's go, my friend. And he said that he enjoys working on larger town projects with me, but this small one is something special. So now that March is my boyfriend and Reese is his best friend, that means he'll also be my best friend down the line, right? That's how that works? Because if I'm not marrying this lovely person, he needs to be my bird lover bestie at least. There was a cute little montage of us working on the birdhouse, and it turned out really cute. We made a little bird home. I'm so in love. And it looks so adorable on the tree. And now we have to wait for the bluebirds to arrive. Fun. This heart event is so comforting. That's a good word for it. All right, next, let's go back inside and talk to Adeline. Reese sent a proposal to Adeline requesting an expansion to the carpenter shop, as they've been taking on more projects as of late. And she seemed to really enjoy the detailed proposal they sent her way. She's so organized and adorable. Adding onto the shop will allow for larger custom orders. I'm intrigued. And, yes, that sounds freaking incredible. A second story to my house and a greenhouse? A greenhouse? And Reese said he'd give me a small greenhouse blueprint for free. I love you, Reese. I just need to gather a few materials for this upgrade. 100 refined stone, 100 glass, 30 crystal, and 30 obsidian. It may take a bit of time, but this is my top priority. All right, let's see what I have in stock on the farm for this project. Okay, I have 2 refined stone, missing all of that basically. 57 glass. I have all the crystals I need and only 1 obsidian. So we have a bit of work to do. Well, I brought all the stone I had with me, crafted 100 refined stones, and I forgot that I can basically create other materials out of rocks. Okay, well, that makes things easier on me, I suppose. So I crafted all the obsidian and glass that I needed as well. Didn't think I'd get this done so soon, honestly. But let's go ahead and drop it off. And now I just need to talk with Adeline. But I realized it's Friday night at the inn. I unfortunately missed the last 2, so we'll attend the next one for sure. I love Friday night at the inn, but it just feels like I've done quite a bit today already, so we'll save the lovely convos for next Friday. And we'll talk to Adeline tomorrow to finish that quest up. I didn't spend the rest of the evening gathering materials, as I'm going to need a bunch of wood and stone for all the things I want to build coming up. First, we have some new items to give our apiaries and terrariums, so let's go ahead and do that. And this time, the terrarium gave me a rare fish bait, so we'll go ahead and place that in the trap by the pier in a bit. Today is date day, the Saturday market, and Darcy's birthday, so I grabbed some milk to give to Darcy since it's a loved item. And she's just so adorable. Look at her little hair clip. And I was so disappointed to see that Maple also told me not to give Dell coffee. The thing is, Maple, I do want to know. Well, now that I'm gifting her swords, maybe I don't. Next, I went to find March for our date, and he talked about the carpenter shop expansion and gave me materials for it. This man is so tsundere-coded. He's secretly such a softie. All right, boyfriend, let's go on a gem cutting date so I can get something pretty out of it. And I got a sapphire. You think he'll end up making my engagement ring by hand? I bet it'll be the prettiest thing this town has ever seen. Also, the follow-up date dialogue always kills me with how cute it is. Unfortunately, there is no more clothing available from Lewis, no new hairstyles from Vera either. I did go ahead and purchase all the crafting materials from Mary though, and I'm freaking sorry. Weedle? What do you mean a freaking halo costs 999,999 tesserae? Did you murder a freaking angel to get it? This dude and his insanely unethical pricing. Man, come on. I'm never gonna make that much money. As for the Crystal Berry Pie Challenge from Taliaferro's booth, I guess I already knew the recipe. I got confused because I was looking at dishes I've already cooked last time and it wasn't on there, so oops. Well, I went ahead and whipped that up at the end and turned it in. And he could put on a front all he wants, but he knows it was delicious. I received some cute hanging pots as a reward, so that's pretty awesome. Also, I love how innocent Ulrich is. He's literally a golden retriever in human form, and I appreciate that aspect about him. And how he's a menace without meaning to be one makes me like him even more. I then talked to Adeline, turned in the stone crown request, got some renown and a golden treasure box, and then turned in the materials for the carpenter shop upgrade and got right to work. And it's looking pretty fancy and shiny. It doesn't look too different on the inside, but still looks really lovely. And I got the small greenhouse blueprint. So the next home upgrade is a bit expensive and requires a bunch of hardwood and gold, but that's not my main focus right now. My main focus is spending money in ways that will earn me even more money. So animals and crops. The large greenhouse is a bit expensive, as is the small one, so I'm glad I got one for free to get started. I also spotted a forge and a mini mill I can purchase for the farm. All right, awesome. Let's get this freaking greenhouse set up then, shall we? I definitely have some restructuring I want to do on my farm, but this is a good spot for now. And before I forget, I have a request from Darcy for a pomegranate, so I went ahead and turned that in. I then went to the stone refinery to craft the last few items I needed for that greenhouse, and it's super cute inside. I will definitely need a few greenhouses on the farm, and I want to focus on growing high-selling crops that can produce over and over again in the beginning. And I decided to go with wheat, as it sells for 150 each, plus we can turn a single piece of wheat into a loaf of bread and sell it for even more profit. From there, I went to the beach and found the proper place to use that fish bait. So I set some inside and we'll see what we catch tomorrow. And at the end of the night, I leveled up the town to rank 72. The next morning, when I went to check on my animals, I received my first duck egg, which is awesome. And then I decided to use all that essence I've been sitting on for quite some time to upgrade my skills. For the fishing category, I grabbed the Appealing Reeling 2 perk, the Frenzy perk, the Wanna Catch perk, and the Lucky Haul 2 perk. In the ranching category, I grabbed the Material Work perk, the Steady Supplies perk, which seems pretty useful, the Set Pieces perk, and the Hammer Timing 3 perk. I grabbed the last Tier 5 perk in the Blacksmithing category, which uses an item we haven't found yet, but we'll be on the lookout for today. I also grabbed all the Tier 4 perks in the Cooking category, and the last Tier 5 perk in the Fishing category. Alright, a lot of great things. Should have grabbed a bunch of those earlier, but I may or may not have forgotten about purchasing skills. It happens. Let's continue our day by heading down to the mines. We have 20 more floors to explore, and we need to figure out who this priestess is and what's really going on down here. A bunch of no good, I'm sure. We made it to floor 80, and the priestess greeted me, saying she's glad to see me safe and sound after what happened last time. She said she regretted not being able to sense that the fire seal was a trap. But are we sure about that? I guess we'll see. She thanked us for helping her thus far, and then said she sensed draconic power that's faint but still alive, and figured out that Caldaris materialized into physical form in order to save us. But she seems rather curious about that. Maybe they don't get along? She said he needed to be protected no matter what. Girl, don't worry. Nothing's gonna happen to that sweet dragon. Since the last seal was booby-trapped, she was worried that this one might be as well, so she told me not to touch anything and that we'd have to open the seal in a different manner. And she yet again told me I am their only hope. Yes, I am well aware. So instead of going through it, we need to go around it? Huh? She suggested I use the dragon's breath Caldaris bestowed upon me, and in doing so, we can open a portal to a nearby plane of existence. Okay, whatever you say. Well, we opened a gateway up, and I am acting way too calm for all of this to be going down in front of me. My character doesn't question things enough. And now we are in purgatory. Wonderful. The priestess said she could grant me something called void sight, so I closed my eyes, and now I can see void colors. I'm like a freaking chameleon now. So this area is like a mirror dimension. It's a field between her world and our world, and I need to gather void materials, place them in this magic cauldron, and it will open the seal? I'm just doing what I'm told at this point because I'm not even trying to understand what's going on. I could be going on a bathhouse date with March, but instead I'm trapped in another dimension, being told by an ancient ghost to gather void materials to open a deadly seal. So I need to find these materials in the mines, and then we can make a void mass out of them all. Okie dokie. She did tell me not to mention any of this to Caldaris, which I found to be a red flag. All right, well, let's go to the mines for gold for now and look for the void materials while we're at it. I found one of the materials right away, void powder, and the next level down, I found a void herb, and a few more floors down, I got my first abyssal chest, which contained an essence stone. In that same body of water, I found my first void pearl, and I didn't get to find any void stones, but we're making pretty good progress. We'll continue this endeavor tomorrow. The next morning, I quickly gave some pets to my animals, watered the 2 measly wheat seeds I had in my greenhouse, and made my way to the mines to continue looking for the void materials. Around 1 p.m., I found my first set of void stones, another void herb the next level down, including the faux recipe for it as well, and I found a good amount of items throughout the next few levels too. So now we just need 1 more void herb, pearl, and powder, and 2 more void stones. So hopefully we can accomplish this tomorrow. We're heading back to the mines today to hopefully find the last few void items and advance to the last part of the mines. But first, some quick chores on the farm, and I got my first duck feather today, alongside my first batch of capybara bristles. I also gave the requested items to my apiary and terrarium, receiving more bug pheromones, but I got the same butterfly as last time. That's fine though, I'm sure I'll need extra. Let's head back to the mines, and on the first few levels, I wasn't finding anything unfortunately. But on level 77, I found a monster whisker, which must be a new item, or I have just been unlucky this whole time and never came across one. I also got an obsidian floor lamp from one of the chest monsters, and found a recipe for a lava rock arch, which kind of looks like the portal to the nether from Minecraft. Luckily, I found the remaining void powder and stones on this level, and inside a chest, I received the recipe for the obsidian floor lamp I was recently gifted. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other void herbs or pearls, so looks like we're coming back here tomorrow. All right, let's rock and roll. Around 3 p.m., I found the last void herb, and directly after that, I found the last void pearl. I'm so happy this adventure didn't extend to yet another day. So I went ahead and gathered all the items, traveled to the realm of darkness, and dropped them off for the priestess, who was acting a bit sus. She appeared before me and said we are ready to create the void mass. Sounds dangerous. Once that was done, she said we needed to create a decoy, and she transformed it into a void breezy. It's a shadow clone jutsu. My nobody. She's super sparkly. Why do I feel bad that a clone of me is being used as a sacrifice though? And I guess I can control the shadow clone. All right, let's use this sacrificial breezy for its one and only purpose, shall we? Again, I don't ask enough questions around here. We got what we needed, and it was indeed a booby trap. But my shadow survived, and it seems I can read witch speak now? Huh? How? Did going into the realm of darkness give me that gift? Or it's because my magic has become stronger? Interesting. So we need a breath of flame, a smoke moth, a fire sailfish, and a piece of obsidian. Then give them to the Void Breezy so she can sacrifice herself for a mission, which I no longer feel sure about. Luckily, I had one fire sailfish in my inventory, and everything else I had multiple of, so let's go back and give it to my nobody, and the priestess reassured me that I am safe and nothing will happen to me. If you say so, but I have my doubts due to the last incident. Too bad I can't keep Void Breezy around. She's really cute. Oh, well, she exploded. My freaking god, woman, what are we unlocking down here? She thanked me for breaking the ruin seal and once again reminded me not to tell Caldaris. Something fishy is going on. They have to be enemies or something. A bit ominous, but we've unlocked the last stretch of the mines. Let's quickly check it out. And it seems it's super dark and dangerous down here. That's nice. The light I cast will grow larger if I have more Mistral armor equipped, so let's try to mine a bit with the remainder of the day we have left. Mistral ore is super pretty though. I like the pink hue to it. The monsters down here are pretty interesting as well. A flying spellbook that reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie, the void-looking kitty goop monsters, and I found the monster block very reminiscent to the thwomps from Mario. I also found a voidite, which is a type of void crystal, I assume, and a pink diamond. We'll explore more of the caverns another day as it's already midnight, but glad we unlocked the last stretch. It's Adeline's birthday today, so let's whip her up something tasty in the kitchen really quick. And I also grabbed some light gifts for both Henrietta and Dozy because I love them. I can't help it! I have to check every single time he has a dialogue box available because otherwise you risk skipping cuteness like this. It just never gets old. And I really need that bathhouse date. Also, look at how cute this little girl talk interaction is. All the besties together. I'm one of you guys, right? I want to be included. I'll make you pink ink, Adeline. Better yet, here's a lemon pie. One of your favorites, right? I love these three. Such a fun group of personalities. Next, let's go check and see what fish we caught in the fish trap. And unfortunately, it was nothing new, so we'll try again next time. I should probably build more terrariums, so let's go ahead and do that. First, we need to smelt some iron ingots, and I think for now, 3 should suffice. And I do plan on moving these elsewhere eventually, but it's fine for now. I filled 1 terrarium with common bugs and 1 with uncommon bugs, and unfortunately, I don't have any spare legendary bugs, so I made the next terrarium a mixed batch. Also, I harvested all of my flowers. I like having a flower garden, but I don't like having it here. It seemed a bit inconvenient, so we'll plant them somewhere else during the spring. Okay, it's Friday night at the inn tonight, and we aren't missing it this time around. Until then, let's continue fixing the farm a bit. I took down the white fences around my flower garden, and I think I want to make some cute pathing and plant some trees around the coops and barns. Maybe some faux plants as well. We'll make it look cute. I went ahead and crafted a few different types of pathing so I can test them out and see which ones I like. I usually like to go for the more natural looking paths, even though the colored stones are quite pretty. I can see people making really fun patterns with them. Maybe I'll try something out with them in the future. And as I was placing down the tiles, I was so confused as to why I couldn't place down the dirt tiles, but it seems like I need to first lay the single plain dirt tiles down and then add these on top. Wish I would have known that sooner. All right, well, we'll test that out later because right now it's Friday night at the end time. I can't recall if we left off in the middle of a storyline last time or if we're onto the new set. Guess we'll see. Let's start at the bar. And I remember this group, the Treats Club, right? Or maybe not. I can't seem to get any convos started at the bar. Huh. Did I run out of dialogue? Well, Elsie's table is deep in their love game, so maybe it's just being weird. Okay, Penelope Lovestruck. I remember some shenanigans were going on when we last left off. Elsie reminded us that we embarked on a journey to save Penelope, our missing lover and serial dater. And it seems she wasn't kidnapped. She actually fell in love with the enemy, and Hans branded her a traitor. What a twist. Penelope seemed torn about leaving her other lovers behind, while Elsie was lifting off the positives of each of the characters' personalities, which I thought was cute. This story is just bonkers, but they all agreed to keep Hans away from Penelope so she can go be with her rival lover and escape. So Ulrich headbutted him and Valen used a memory wiping spell, but not before teasing Juniper a little bit before casting said spell. Just date already! The way the devs write these storylines is seriously so fun. The dialogue is never boring and always hilarious. I rather enjoy the outcome of this little tables game. All right, Balor's table next. This was for the clown painting, right? He informed everyone that the painting was commissioned by the late Lord Hawthorne, and apparently his secret passion was being a clown. Weird thing to be passionate about. The bad news about this endeavor is the family knows the painting exists and they absolutely hate it and want nothing to do with it and ask that it be destroyed. So they can't make any money off of it. And I interjected into the conversation and there was a dialogue option for me. Huh? That hasn't happened before that I could remember. Forgive me if it has. It's been a while since I've last played. So I can take the hideous painting or allow Reese to bury it. I'm so curious as to what it looks like. I hate clowns though. If I get this painting, will I end up being able to get rid of it at some point? Let's just see what it looks like and go from there. And it indeed seems like I can take it. Can't really tell where the clown is from this small pixelated design. We'll take a closer look at it later. Okay. Now can we talk to the bar group? Indeed we can. It's Hayden's turn to pick the dessert for the group, and he chose golden cookies. Ooh, I'm jealous. I haven't made those yet. Island was on cloud 9, flying so high in the sky he probably saw God. And I said the only thing I'm catching are these cookies. Island can take care of himself. At least he appreciated that response. Marge's response was pretty simple, saying, yeah, it's good. Show some emotion, Marge. I promise it's okay. And that concludes our time with the dessert club. Finally, to finish off our current storylines, we have the kids up top who are doing charades yet again, but a special version. This time, all 3 of them are going to give me clues and I have to figure out who they are describing. And these dang kids were describing me. I'm still mysterious to the town? I suppose I am. And hey, Maple, I'm not always passing out at 2 a.m. That's only happened a few times. Aw, they look so proud. And they said I'm their favorite adult. Oh, you guys, you're my favorite kids in town. They're the only kids in town, but don't tell them that. Another successful Friday night at the inn. Now that these storylines have concluded, I'll be curious to see if a new set of groups form next Friday. If anything, I hope they add more with the 1.0 update. The next morning, I harvested more of my crops and decided to remove my little watering buddies for the time being so that the essence stones aren't being wasted. And I got a new item called a tiny essence stone, which can charge a tool for 1 day. And I'm so confused. Why can't I place these dirt tiles? And after some trial and error, I guess I have to shovel the snow first. Then why can't I buy regular dirt tiles in the first place? Well, once I figured out that I literally have to shovel the snow, I started trying out some patterns, not really liking any of them, and I got so into shoveling snow that I lost track of time and passed out. Funny how this is the first time it's happened in quite a while, right after the kids made fun of me for frequently passing out at 2 a.m. It's almost as if they predicted the future. Well, I missed my date with March yesterday, so I'm going on one today. I'm not skipping out on potential date days. Also, we have another snow day, so I'm gonna look for the missing legendary insect right after. I got some cute dialogue with March. Haven't heard him talk about running a project by me yet. And we went on a date at the inn because it's cold outside and it's warm in here. got some chili coconut curry, chatted again for even more cute follow-up dialogue, and I'm content for the time being. Now it's time to look for this freaking beetle, and this calls for me zooming out the game display so I can spot the little sucker easier. And thank goodness I did, because I saw him rolling snowballs off in the distance. Well, yay! So glad I found him. I'm gonna try to find as many bugs as possible today, since I would like to gather more legendary insects for my terrariums. And would you believe me if I told you my game freaking froze on me? So I played the day all over again, went on the same date with March, got the same dialogue, received a different dish though. All right, time to hunt down that freaking beetle once again, and thank goodness I was able to find him around 3 p.m. Devs, you owe me 2 legendary winter beetles. I caught 2 before my game crashed, so I'm owed 2. And right after I caught the first one, I found a second one. You still owe me 2 legendary winter beetles, devs. I went ahead and donated that dude to the museum and prayed to all the gods in existence that my game didn't crash again. I don't want to track this dude down a 3rd time. And thankfully, we made it through without another game crash. Glad I caught another extra beetle. Now I need 3 more for a legendary terrarium setup. We had a few items to give to our terrariums and apiary this morning, and I received my first bottle of common bug pheromones and uncommon fish bait. Using some of the new pheromones I just received, we caught a new bug called a sunset moth, and that was it. Before getting to work on the farm, I went and added some more fish bait to the trap at the beach. And guys, I seriously don't know what to do about the pathing situation. Nothing I'm doing is satisfying me. But I think I'm just gonna keep going and at least get something temporary up. I wish I knew how to curve the paths the opposite way. I once again spent the whole day trying to figure out pathing. I know, I'm like obsessed with it right now, but I have a vision. I have an idea in mind, so I'm trying to lay that out and see if I can accomplish making something cute. We shall see. So before I start obsessing over my pathing that I will most likely not like, let's go check out our fish trap, and we didn't get anything new. We did get a pirate flag though, and I have 1 more fish bait left on hand, so I'll go ahead and place it inside the trap, come back tomorrow, and see if we get lucky. In between setting up my little animal area, I decided to go and buy 10 more pomegranate saplings because I want to plant a few around the farm, but also keep a few for my greenhouses. I made a few more picket fences, which raised my carpenter skill quite a bit, and I truly need to upgrade the skill, so that's fantastic, honestly. I then realized that I needed to move a few more of the buildings since things were getting to be a bit too cluttered, and continued my little pathing experiment. I want to place some cute decor items, trees, plants, and more organic pathing in this area. It's slowly coming together. It took all day, but I finally finished the pathing and fencing around my barns and coops. You wouldn't think it would take me days to do something so simple, but time flies by quickly in this game. At least I have a little bit of a foundation set here and can add onto it in the future, but we'll do something more exciting tomorrow. The next morning, I finally checked my mail. It's been sitting there for a few days. I got a congrats letter from Adeline from fixing up the carpenter shop, and it seems this is as far as the upgrades go until the 1.0 release, which will be in a few weeks. I'm so flippin' excited, you guys. The other letter was from Landon letting me know that mini meal upgrades are available at his shop, so I was right. They are new. I then got all of my animals at a daycare, said hi to Hayden, and now we are at 6 hearts, which means we'll be receiving his next heart event soon. I'll have to set a day aside here shortly to get to all the heart events I have piling up, and you know, for the most part, the animals can figure out how to get out, which makes me happy. There's always going to be that one slow one though. I then went to the mill to make some pine and oak saplings since I want to add some trees to my animal area. I also made some golden butter for Nora's request, and while I was at it, she also requested a breath of flame. Juniper has a request for capybara bristles, so let's finish those little requests up. I missed Juniper's little cackle. Okay, tonight is Friday night at the inn, so I'm curious if there'll be another new group or if we've gone through all the materials for now. And March, I know you aren't this dense, right? You can't look me straight in the face and tell me that you and Ulrich have similar personalities. Aw, you're not, boyfriend. You just aren't. But that's okay. I do have to say, the more I get to know you, the more personable you are, but I still wouldn't describe you as such. All right, well, let's go to the inn together and see what's up. And it seems like we're out of storylines for the time being. Darn, that's a real shame. I really enjoy the fun little stories everyone tells. Well, hopefully we'll get at least one more with the next update. For now, I'll just go around seeing what everyone has to say, and it's interesting to note that not everyone shows up to Friday night at the inn now, as we have a whole table empty. Or actually, never mind. I guess they just come a bit later. Still a few seats empty though. Here comes Balor. Okay, I think everyone is accounted for. I really wish I could sit down and grab a drink with everyone and strike up a conversation that way. That would be really fun and make me feel more involved, I suppose. The next morning, I woke up and planted some trees around my animal enclosures and then headed to the Saturday market. Today seems like a pretty nice day for a date with March. Right, guys? Say yes. Yes, it seems like a wonderful day. I know, right? And hey, walking on the beach during the wintertime sounds kind of nice, honestly. I love going to the beach when it's cold and you're all bundled up. And while we were at the beach, I checked the fish trap and it seems like we caught something new. We got a sea urchin. So let's go donate that to the museum alongside the butterfly I caught a few days ago. Hopefully we can catch almost everything this playthrough. All right, while in the area, I decided to go purchase some skill upgrades at the dragon statue in the mines, since I noticed I have a lot of essence and I haven't upgraded any of these skills in quite some time. For the mining category, I learned everything in the tier 5 section, which had a lot to do with finding extra mistral ore, finding perfect gems and ores more often, and stumbling upon ritual chambers more often. All wonderful perks. For the combat category, I learned how to unleash a sonic boom attack. Throwing an item into a mimic chest will award me with 2 items now instead of 1. My shields will activate randomly. I have a shield? I swear I always forget and never use it. My bad. To be fair, you never get hurt all too much, so is it needed? I also grabbed a perk that will make my attacks more likely to be critical hits, so I got some pretty good stuff. All right, let's go back to the Saturday market, and Mary doesn't have any more crafting recipes for me to purchase, which is a shocker. Teleferro's cooking challenge this week is a crispy fried earth shroom. Yep, I don't know how to make it. Okay, so I've never shipped an earth shroom. I'll go do that right now. I went back to the farm to give the animals a bit of love, removed some of the old flower patch by my house, and started cleaning up the farm a bit more for spring. I may do a bit of foraging tomorrow since it's the last day of winter, just to pick up a few more items in case I need them. Today was a material and foraging gathering day, since tomorrow is the first day of spring. And while I was doing that, I ran into the mysterious well, and I haven't given this dude any tesserae in quite some time, so I threw in 500 and got a spicy cheddar biscuit. It sells for 10 more than I paid, so a bit of a profit margin there. And for the whole day, I went around grabbing everything I could, flowers, fruits, other stuff, anything that I could grab, I did. I am very much looking forward to spring though. It'll be easier to decorate the farm when I can see the green grass and the dirt I'm placing down. Today is the first day of spring, and my gosh, I forgot how colorful and pretty this season is. My little animal area looks so much nicer during this season, and the trees are slowly coming along. This area is gonna look so pretty soon. Just you wait, guys. All right, since it's the beginning of a new season, let's go purchase a bunch of seeds and get started on that project. Once I get the farm set up and make a bit more money, we'll head back to the mines. And I decided to start with strawberry and pea seeds because they sell for a lot and they will continue to grow crops throughout the season. So I want to get these planted ASAP. It took me all day to plant everything and I still didn't have enough seeds to fill 2 plots. So I decided to gather up a bunch of my animal goods to sell since I have a buttload of them and make 2 more plots for crops. I'm serious about making money, guys. You gotta spend money to make money. And at the end of the night, I made 15,250 tesserae selling animal products, so not bad. On my way to the mines to craft more sprinklers, I found a mist cloud that contained a mist pet bed inside. Aw, how cute! The decor in this game is so whimsical and adorable. I made another large essence stone and 2 more water sprite statues. And even with all that money I made yesterday, I still didn't have enough to completely fill in 2 more plots. Dang it. Bread is a pretty good item to sell for a profit, right? Let's bake some bread and some blackberry jam while we're at it too. There, some more money to be made to buy the last few seeds. Okay, I want to take a look and see if there are any bugs or fish I'm missing during the springtime. And it seems one of the legendaries I'm missing can be found during the season, the flower crown beetle, and we can find the last bee during the season as well. So I think I'm going to go look for that beetle the rest of the day. And in the town center, I found the last bee. That was fast. It's a big bee, so like a bumblebee? What a cutie. And I wasn't able to find the legendary bug, but there's always tomorrow. And at the end of the night, I ranked up the town to level 74. All right, I'm going to spend the day looking for that bug again. I'd like to find him as soon as possible, so 1, I don't forget to catch him once again, and 2, I can focus on other things. My brain won't let me focus until he's found. And he can be found during sunny and windy weather, so we have lots of opportunities. First though, let's buy the remainder of our seeds for the season and get them planted, and then quickly take care of the animals. I need them to be happy and fed so they keep producing quality products for me. I still need to purchase rabbits and breed the animals to obtain all the color variants. It's on the to-do list. I didn't forget about it. One thing at a time though, or I'll freak out with overwhelm. All right, it's beetle time. Usually when I'm searching for rare bugs, I like to just take the route from my farm, go through Hayden's farm, and repeat the process because it's the shortest route, and it's easier to see the bugs spawn as this is a smaller section of the map. So that's what we're gonna do today. Run back and forth from my farm to Hayden's. He probably thinks I'm a freaking kook. And unfortunately, I didn't spot him. I did grab quite a few other bugs while I was searching, just to have extras though. Okay, I'm going to search once again. If I can't find him in the next day or 2, we'll take a break. And I found an even better spot to cheese this method, you guys. Right where the dig site is, run back out to the museum area, back to the dig site, rinse and repeat. You can almost instantly see the bugs when you load in for the most part, so this is so much faster this way. And I did manage to catch another legendary speedy snail, which is wonderful. And around 3:30, I caught yet another speedy snail. Okay, that's awesome and all, but where is my legendary beetle? Can he also spawn, please? And I once again did not find him. But perhaps 3rd time's a charm? I do need to get home though and let my animals back inside their homes. They slept outside last night by accident and were not happy with me this morning. I started off the morning harvesting my wheat in the greenhouse and using it to make even more wheat seeds, let my animals outside to eat all the excess grass I currently have growing, and in the process, I found another speedy snail. Why do I keep getting this legendary bug, but not the one I'm looking for? As fun as it may be to ride around on my little sheep friend, I don't want to keep looking for this jerk forever. And I think Mistria heard my moaning and whining because on my way to the dig site, I found her. The flower crown beetle. She's quite pretty, and she's getting donated right away. Now we only have 1 legendary left to find, the strobe firefly, which is found during the summertime. Okay, awesome. Since my luck with finding legendaries has been pretty good this morning, I think I'm going to dedicate 1 final day to catching bugs and looking for more to fill up the future terrariums. Now that I think about it, I'll need to eventually find 4 of the fairy bees to get the legendary honey, right? That's not going to be fun to do. And I took a short break to talk to March. Shut up, guys. He gave me a lemonade so I wouldn't pass out from heat stroke. He knows I've been working my butt off looking for these dang bugs and gave me a refreshing drink to cool off to. How considerate. Thank you, boyfriend. And you guys, look, I found another beetle. Today is a blessed day for legendary bugs. I stopped around 11 p.m. and I didn't find any more legendaries, but I'm honestly quite satisfied with today's haul. And I stopped by the museum to donate a bee I forgot to submit a few days ago, completing the bee insect set, and I will have to come back for my reward because I have no room in my inventory. All right, what did I get? A cute bumblebee plushie. Oh, the crafting recipe for it as well, some money, and a plate of deluxe curry. Very nice. Would it be weird if I just passed out in March's room? Where is he? It's almost 2 in the morning. Oh, it's Friday night at the end. Well, this is going to be an interesting thing for him to come home to. It would be funny if something happened if you passed out in your partner's room, like a follow-up dialogue asking if you're okay or like why you were in the room in the first place. You should have given me more lemonade because I ended up passing out like he feared I would. All right, I don't need the zoomed out display anymore, so let's go back to the normal up-close cute display. Before heading to the Saturday market, let's feed our terrariums and apiary. I got my first bottle of uncommon bug pheromones and my first bottle of common fish bait. Once I got all of my chores done on the farm, I went to the Saturday market where I went on a picnic date with March, and it made me realize I haven't said hi to Caldaris in so long. What's wrong with me? We should go visit him today. My poor little dragon friend. I always forget because he's tucked away in that corner of the woods. I was elated to see Lewis has some new stock for the springtime, and look at how cute these hats are. So I bought them all, and I should probably change my wardrobe since it's not winter anymore. And I think that looks kind of cute. I'm like a little lemon. Very spring inspired. Also, I shipped an earth shroom and got no recipe, so let's go talk to Taliaferro and ask him where we can find it, although it kills me to ask him for help. And he said it was found by a tastemaker inside a treasure chest. So it's in the water section of the mines in a chest. Let me just Google this really quick so I can get some clarification. I don't want to be searching for hours. All right, internet says I need to feed a mimic chest in the water caverns. I can do that. First, let's go see Caldaris since it's been so long, and let's bring him a love gift. While looking through what items he loves, I spotted the Mont Blanc in his profile, and March just gave me one on her date. He knew a meeting with Caldaris was overdue and that I've just been so busy as of late, so he prepared this specially for him. Oh my God, he's so caring and good at noticing things. Thank you, March. Here you go, Caldaris. Bestie. Please don't be mad at me. Also, do you know anything about that priestess down in the mines? I think she's tricking me into doing something I shouldn't and knows you wouldn't approve if you found out, and I'm kind of being an idiot and not asking any more questions about this whole situation and just doing what I'm told like a sheep. I found out my first plot of strawberries and peas were ready to harvest, so I did that and found a magic seed. I decided to plant it in my greenhouse and grow it instantly alongside a few of my wheat plants, and I got a cute cabbage backpack. Still hard to tell what it is with my hair in the way though. I then harvested the wheat, made more seeds with them, instantly grew them, harvested them again, and made even more seeds, and now the greenhouse is full. I may want to put a sprinkler in here eventually, but we should start making a decent amount of tesserae here with my wheat, strawberry, and pea plants in a few days. And look, I made 7,500 tesserae just from a handful of these crops. We're going to be swimming in money soon, my friends. All right, let's head to the mines today to look for that earth shroom recipe and try to make a bit of progress in the last area as well. It took a few levels for me to finally come across a mimic chest, but I unfortunately didn't get a recipe. And I didn't find any other mimic chest, or any normal chest for that matter. But we're gonna keep exploring the new section of the mines tomorrow instead. I have more important things to do than worrying about impressing Taliaferro for the moment. Mr. Snooty Pants can wait. All right, we're off to the mines. Let's try to make some progress down here today. And these enemies do quite a bit of damage, especially when they gang up on you. I definitely need to make some Mistral armor as soon as I can. On floor 82, I found a piece of perfect Mistral ore. How extremely lucky. I'd like to find a second one if possible because I believe this is a love gift of March's as well. I also found some ethereal grass, and it's a very pretty purple color. Further up, I found one of the crystals that you can hit, and it dimly lit up the space. Oh my God, that is so much better. It's a little disorienting after a while when you can't see what's around you. And next to that crystal, I found a mimic chest. fed him some random items, and got a witch queen table and a witch queen throne. That's cool and all, but should I be concerned about the theme of the items down here? I also found a new bug on this level, a giant worm. And on the next level down, I found a new flower called an essence blossom along with the faux recipe. I received this funky looking void cat hat. And in a chest, I found a ruins crystal light that I can use as decor. And I'm sorry. Sure, just give me a panic attack. This is new. On level 84, the entrance just decided to close, the lights turned off, anxiety-inducing music began to play, and I was trapped in a small arena surrounded by rocks while a demonic statue tried to crush me to death, who is insanely aggro, by the way. It took me by surprise, but honestly, that was better than breaking every single rock trying to find the ladder. Mixing it up isn't always a bad thing, it just caught me off guard a little. And I'm definitely not going to be able to make it to another checkpoint floor, so we'll stop here and donate all of our finds to the museum. And I don't know why I didn't think to donate the void items to the museum. I should have a void pearl at home, and I can just donate that the next time I come this way. And I completed the Medals of Mistria set. We have a few more artifacts left to donate, and we should be done with that wing of the museum. And at the end of the night, I leveled up the town ranking to 74. All right, I harvested some of my crops, and doing so awarded me with 2 magic seeds, so I planted them in a random place on my farm, watered them, and it dropped yet another magic seed, so lucky me. So we'll keep an eye on these guys over the next few days. Back to the mines we go, and after today's excursion, we'll make a few pieces of Mistral armor. And on floor 86, that demonically possessed statue was present again, and I'm just gonna stay over here and swing my sword because I'm not getting anywhere near him if I don't have to. I found a void snail nearby alongside a new artifact, a dragon claw. Am I going to run into a dragon that's been trapped and alive down here for millennia? Level 87 started off with chaos, as every enemy on that level decided to attack me all at once, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. On the same level, I caught a new fish, a gazer, and he's blind. Oh, makes me want to nurture him. I also fished up a void pearl, so we'll donate that later on as well. Further down, I found an item called a written root, as well as a dragon scale. And around 11:30, I made it to floor 90, and I honestly wasn't expecting to see the priestess here. It seemed almost like a home. Pretty creepy to have a home down here. And yep, it's the priestess's quarters. You guys were living all the way down here? How freaking depressing. She said high-ranking priestesses lived here as it was necessary to remain close to the gate between worlds, which is the final seal. I don't know, you guys. Should we be opening up a gate between worlds? I feel like someone must have closed it because it was dangerous. Like it's not meant to be open, you know? I don't ask enough questions around here, and it's honestly starting to frustrate me. The door we need to go through to get to the final seal is currently locked, and we need to rummage through the rooms to find the magic key that will unlock the door behind her. She said there are no monsters here as it's a sacred place. Yeah, okay. And she said it's a trial. Is this a maze? I don't have time for a maze, girl. It's almost my bedtime, and I need to put my animals back inside or they're going to be furious with me again. Yeah, see? Instantly the game was like, no, it's too late to be doing that. We'll continue this tomorrow then. But we made really good progress, and I found a bunch of stuff to donate, even completing the Void Forage set, so I'm happy about that. Well, it's Ulrich's birthday today, so I have to stop by and give him a gift before heading back to the mines. I'll always make time for this sweet dude. And I'm sorry. What? I didn't realize that the prize I got from donating all the void forageables was a freaking money tree. The gods have heard my pleas to earn enough for the bathhouse date and have opted to help me in this endeavor. Oh, what a beautiful day. I'm gonna place it here for right now, but I'm gonna find a super special spot for you, you beautiful, adorable, wonderful tree. While harvesting my strawberries and peas, I found 2 more magic seeds, so I planted them right besides the other 3 and proceeded to get my animals situated for the day. Gosh, everything takes so long. It's already noon. All right, let's find Ulrich and give him this extra piece of perfect mistral ore for his birthday. It's a loved item, same as March. Sorry, March, but you'll get a piece once your heart gauge is no longer capped. He seemed fine about it though, and gave me some gold, as he should. Okay, let's craft some mistral ingots, and it seemed we can only craft 11. But with them, I was able to craft the mistral helmet and chest piece, so it's a start. And it looks like the light around me is larger, so that'll be quite helpful as we keep moving down. I found an old blacksmithing area, and it told me I may be able to use it if I find a hint in the other rooms. March would go crazy if he saw this forge. So let's keep looking. There were 2 scrolls open near this area. One said that the sun and the moon govern the heavens and earth, shining down upon them, but that they fear that darkness is rising. The second stated that their highness has ordered that the dragon forge shall remain burning day and night. Well, looks like someone failed to do what they were told. In the next room over, there was a patch of dirt that I was able to use my watering can on, but that's all I could do. I'm wondering if I can use my dragon's breath spell on the forge, or perhaps this area? I can't seem to break it, but maybe that spell would work. It costs 2 mana and I only have 1, but I have a bunch of mana potion bottles back on my farm, so I'm gonna go grab them really quickly. All right, I've acquired the goods. Let's rock and roll. And that seemed to do the job. I also got a legendary artifact from destroying the barrier, a dragon pack tablet. All right, let's check out these scrolls in the back. This one talks about the forge and says Dragonfire will open the way, so it needs to be used there as well, just as I thought. The next scroll talks about his lordship growing wary about the waxing of the moon, and that they should continue to perform the sacred rituals despite what's happening above ground. And for the time being, the flow of magic remains steady, even though some concerning event or person seems to draw closer. Interesting. Is his lordship Caldaris? It has to be, right? Using Dragon's Breath near the blacksmithing station worked, and it opened up a secret passage. Nice. This is a freaking handy-dandy spell, Caldaris. Ooh, and there's a secret dragon sword we can make here? That looks cool. Let's read the scrolls first before checking out the tablet. First one reads, I met his lordship and the Dragonsworn in the glade today. I know what must come, and yet, if there was only another way, I shall begin the necessary preparations. That must have been when they trapped Caldaris in his statue form, I'm assuming. Next scroll. There has been a shift. Even his lordship can sense it. What will become of us all? Just what happened to everyone? Maybe opening the gate was a bad decision. Did someone betray Caldaris? The priestess, perhaps? I don't know, guys. I'm getting a worse and worse feeling the further down we go. I don't trust her or the farmer. From an outside perspective, my character is quite the idiot right now. The third scroll reads, Her Highness walks among us, yet our prayers no longer reach her. Who is Her Highness, I wonder? The final scroll reads as follows. It happened again last night. Power surged through the gate, ascending through the ritual chamber, as if pulled forth by unseen hands. It seems that our ritual can no longer regulate the flow of magic. Maybe the priestesses were trying to control just how much magical energy was available in the realm, because if it got out of balance, it could cause irreparable damage. Like cause world destruction or give someone with bad intentions the ammo they need. It's been some time since I've played, so I can't recall a lot of the story details. I'll need to go and check, but did magic always exist in this realm, or was it pulled in from the gate that connects the other realm to this one? I'm sure we'll find out more, but I may need to do a bit of a refresher on the lore so far. You guys might be watching this back to back, but for me, it's been half a year since I played, so forgive me if I seem a little bit slow with some of the story details. Next, the stone tablet. Seems like it's a prophecy. Am I going to be on this tablet? It reads, One that slumbers in the forest shade, sworn by its side despite all odds, reunited, a return to balance. It then asks for 2 offerings, a temple flower and a marigold. Is the one that slumbers in the forest shade the temple flower and sworn by its side the marigold? Both of those flowers are found near Caldaris' temple, right? Or do both of these flowers represent 2 beings? Perhaps one is a dragon, the one that slumbers, and sworn by its side, the dragon sworn? That makes more sense. Well, let's go grab these 2 items, shall we? I'm about to unleash something crazy upon Mistria and just doom all of its citizens, aren't I? Okay, after offering the 2 flowers, I got a seed of balance. Don't tell me I'm about to grow a freaking key from a seed. Well, now I know what that patch of dirt is for, and there is no way I'm waiting for it to grow. We're using magic to speed things up here. And yeah, we grew a key from a seed. I'm not going to question it. After everything I've seen, I can literally breathe fire gifted from an ancient dragon. This is pretty tame compared to everything else. And since it's 12, and this took way longer than I thought, we will unlock the door and continue this journey tomorrow. All right, let's open up the door to darkness. And of course, the priestess appeared behind me. It's almost as if she was watching me the whole time. She congratulated me and then granted me a gift to make the rest of my journey easier, a new spell called the Sacred Light Spell. I can use them on dark floors and it'll help me pass through them more easily. And I know I keep saying it, but seriously, I need to be asking more questions about all this stuff. I just accept whatever I'm told. What dragon are we restoring power to? All right, so casting this spell will light up the dark floors for 5 minutes. That sounds handy. It only costs 1 mana, so not too bad. All right, let's test it out. And instantly, it's so much easier to navigate. I don't feel like throwing up right away from getting disoriented in the dark. Cool, I'll be sure to use this whenever I can. On this level, I found a new bug called an ancient firefly, and the next floor down, I found a hidden beetle, which is a rare ruins bug. I also found a new fruit called a spell fruit, a few decor crafting recipes, and a giant jellyfish. On level 94, I found a chirping fern, and right around 1 a.m., I made it to level 95, a checkpoint floor. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. So maybe we can finish this tomorrow then? And at the end of the night, we ranked up the town to level 76. All right, let's quickly drop off all of our new finds to the museum. And we completed the Ruins Forge set, which earned us some money and a void bonsai. Probably even harder to take care of than a normal bonsai. On floor 96, I caught a parchment moth, which I believe is the last bug we needed on these levels of the mines. And on floor 97, I caught a luminescent crab. He's a bit freaky looking. Kind of reminds me of Mr. Krabs without a shell on. I also found some crafting recipes, a witch queen cauldron, a witch queen throne, and a ruined stone arch. And I was about to lose my mind because I got stuck on a pillar and I couldn't get out no matter how much I jumped or angled myself. I even tried to use the option in the settings to move to a free spot, but it wouldn't let me. Luckily, a few swings of the sword freed me, but I was going to be so upset if I had to just sit here and wait to pass out. And on level 99, it reached 1 a.m. and I was panicking, but I managed to find the ladder at 1:20 in the morning, and there we go. We reached floor 100. When we arrived, we were met with the priestess trapped in a crystal prison. I have a feeling Little Miss Priestess was trapped for a reason. Oh boy. Okay, let's see what's up. She was glad to see me and said she waited a long time to meet face to face. It's interesting. It seems like she's quite alive and aware of her surroundings, being able to blink and speak to us inside of the crystal, so she's not frozen or trapped in time, so to speak. The final seal, which is the gate between worlds, is our last puzzle, and it's the point from which all magic originates. So magic was brought to this world from the gate. That makes more sense. The gate has remained sealed for centuries. Maybe I just shouldn't mess with it then. Come on, me. Think for once. Red flags have been raised. Because the gate was closed, magic disappeared from this world, and due to the shifts caused by the earthquake, a crack appeared in the seal. And due to that crack, magic began to seep through it. I was gonna ask her why I was able to perform magic if magic didn't exist in this world anymore. Now I know. Even though magic was seeping into the world above, there was no one left who could recognize the magic essence. But because I woke up Lord Caldaris, he gave me that gift to use. All right, so Can she tell me why the last 2 seals needed to get to her were literal death traps? Why are they hiding Little Miss Priestess away? I'm so curious. She has to be more important than a simple priestess. Well, before we find that answer, we need to read the Dragonsworn tablet to find what offerings we need to collect. The tablet appears to be blank, but I sense the words were merely hidden from sight. Okay, let's go back and ask her what to do. Void Sight should have revealed what we needed to find, but even she was a bit confused by it. I told her before I could read Witch Speak, I had Juniper and Island help me out, and she seemed curious about it, so I gave her a rundown in emoji form. Please let me bring them down here. I want some of the townsfolk to lose their freaking minds, dude. Or someone to knock some sense into my noggin. I don't want to keep this secret any longer. The stress is killing me. I need these people to know I'm not crazy and that there's an ancient priestess and dragon living amongst them. Also, if they help me, then it's not just my fault if this all goes to hell. She asked if they could be trusted. I wonder if the outcome would be different based on how many hearts I have with them. I think I have at least 4 with both Island and Juniper. I'm going to trust them. Juniper makes me nervous, but she has a cute golden that she loves with all her heart, so I know deep down she's a good person. She then asked me to place my hand on the crystal. Don't suck my soul out of my body, please. Damn it! She looked through my journal and found I've been slacking with both of them in terms of heart events. Oh, no, dude. I need to focus on these 2 next, it seems. Ugh. All right. What do I need to do, Miss Know-It-All snooping through my journal priestess? I was so excited too. Now I'm depressed. All right. Time for friendship and farming, it seems. So I need to be besties with them? 8 hearts? Ugh. Darn it all. Yeah, that option right there. I mean, I do want to be better friends with them, but not at this particular moment. Not when things are getting interesting. Those fools are slowing me down. Just wait here. Don't go anywhere, and I'll be back as soon as I can. And I passed out right when I got inside of my house. Jeez, what a day. Okay, so Island is at 5 hearts, and Juniper is at 5 as well. 3 more each. I can do this. Let's focus on giving them gifts they enjoy to make things faster. And my money tree just gave me 100 tesserae today. That's a beautiful sight to see after the horrible news I just received. All right, let's go find them and give them their gifts, socialize a bit, and then go on our date with March. I need to de-stress after the day I had yesterday. My goodness. How about 1 dragon, Island? They're real. Please, I'll show you right now. Just go to the forest and see for yourself. We're gonna speed run this friendship thing. You hear me, Island? All right, take me out on a date, March. I have so much to tell you and I need some time to decompress. And that wasn't nearly long enough. But we are getting close to the bathhouse date. Over halfway there. A bath would be an even better way to relax during this time of uncertainty. Wouldn't you all agree? Okay, well, I can't do anything else friendship-wise today, so let's check the stalls and then work on the farm a bit. On the way back to my home, I checked the town request board and look at that little weasel. He's trying to get 3 gold ingots out of me by pretending it's for the children. Nothing good ever comes from people claiming they're doing something for the children. I also picked up the next crown request from Adeline for shards. Isn't the animal area starting to look really pretty now that the trees have grown? I still plan to add some animal toys scattered throughout, some more decor and pathing as well, but it's looking a lot more vibrant and lovely. And for the remainder of the evening, I just chopped down trees on the left side of my farm for materials. I woke up to Celine reminding me about the Spring Festival this Wednesday, so I need to try and gather the Breath of Spring flowers once again for the competition. Will do, Celine. Thanks for the reminder, girl. 3 of the magic seeds finished growing, and I unlocked a cute strawberry backpack, a turnip backpack, and a snowdrop anemone backpack. I have 2 more, so I'll go ahead and plant these as well. I'm going to cook a few things for Island and Juniper in my little kitchen and check the inn to see if I can purchase any of the items Juniper likes. None that I can see. No fish tacos, no pizza. But there are some cooking recipes available, and one of them is for fish tacos, which is a loved item for Juniper, and coconut cream pie, which is a loved item for Island. We're moving in the right direction. So I purchased them all and made some fish tacos and started handing out gifts. Junie, I need you to learn to trust and to do it fast, all right? I'm not worried about Island, but you? Just tell me what you need and I'll bring it. On my way to give Island a gift, I stopped by to say hi to March and Ulrich since they were outside, and he had new dialogue asking if I wanted to try forge cooking. Yes? Hello, that is so out of the realm of what I thought you'd allow me to do at your sacred forge. How stinking cute. And please tell me why. Why he gave me the other loved food item of Juniper's that I was looking for. You beautiful man. He made me a pizza. He always gives me things right when I need them the most. Like I said, he's a good listener. He pays attention to the finer details in a relationship and notices the little things. I adore you, March. I then gave Island some glowberry cookies, and we are getting close to 6 hearts. It may take a while, but we're getting there. I also donated my finds from the mines while at the museum, completing the ruins insect set, and then stopped by the mill to make some flour with all of my wheat so I can make bread with it and sell it for more profit. From there, I cleaned up more of the trees and rocks on my farm, foraged the remainder of the evening, and leveled up the town rank to 77. All right, the next morning, 2 of my magic seeds were ready to harvest, and I got a healing syrup and a mana potion. So that makes me believe we've acquired all of the spring backpacks. I have 2 more magic seeds, but I think I'm going to save them for another season. Okay, let's start handing out our daily gifts so we can free the priestess. And Island is talking about things very similar from what I need him to do. Oh, he's gonna freak out, you guys. If he doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed. Here you go, Juniper. Hot and fresh, made by my boyfriend. If you notice a metal aftertaste, you're just imagining things. So let's be friends. Yeah? Let's craft some things to spruce up the animal area. I'd like to finish it up so I can work on other parts of the farm. Maybe we can make a few faux plants to place around the barns and coops. Maybe some arches. I'll test a few things out and see how I like them before I mass craft them all. All right, I purchased a few things as well, so I'm gonna experiment a bit. It'll probably take me a few days until I'm satisfied with how it looks, but I mean, we're focusing on our friendship right now, so I have the time. I'll probably try to increase a few other friendships while we're at it and experience a few of those heart events I've been sitting on as well. All right, today is March's birthday, so of course we gotta stop by and give him something. He's my boyfriend. Yes, we're currently capped when it comes to increasing a relationship at the moment, but it's the thought that counts. Please, Del. Don't tell March that I've given you swords and yet you still decide to run off with all the spoons, making him hate his life. Not on his birthday. And Dozy brought up something I never thought about. How did Juniper acquire Dozy? It seems so out of character for her to have a pet, and yet it fits her so incredibly well. Dozy seems like the perfect animal companion for Miss Junie. And after handing out a gift to both Island and Juniper, I'm like a centimeter away from 6 hearts with Island and 3/4 of the way there with Juniper. After spending all day on this little area, I'm really liking how it's turning out. A bit of decor, a bit of fake plants, some toys for the animals. I want to plant some fruit trees as well. This is going to turn out adorable. Well, it's a spring festival, and I only found 34 Breath of Spring, so I'm definitely not winning this year. I've already won once, though, so it's okay. All right, let's witness my loss and Celine's inevitable win. She can win this year, though. She's a cutie patootie flower queen and deserves happiness. At least I got second. Errol must have picked like 2 flowers. I went around socializing with everyone a little bit, and talking with Island got us to 6 hearts. Expect a visit from me tomorrow, sir. I bought some flower earrings, a few snacks to give out, and decided to buy another mini mill. I then purchased another bridge so I can have 2 pathways leading to my animal area, and crafted a few things, bought a few more seesaws, and started placing more items in my animal area. And I worked on decorating the farm all night, and I'm definitely not done, but I'm gonna take a breath for it for now and focus on other things. And at the end of the night, I ranked the town to level 78. Okay, we have a heart event for Hayden in the mail, where we will continue our endeavor to better socialize Henrietta, and one from Island, where he let us know he's found out more information about the Dragonsworn armor. So we have 4 heart events to get to. Let's start with Islands. He was pacing back and forth in his home, and I asked him where we were off to, and he said after he translated the tablet, he came to the conclusion that the next piece of armor should be located in their house. I mean, that kind of makes sense given one of the pieces was in their front yard. Their manor must be old. Perhaps it's in the basement or hidden in a secret location. So we are looking for the cloak this time around, which is supposed to be extremely strong and durable. This special cloak turned into a notable symbol that the leaders of Mistria wore, but over time that changed because it went out of fashion. So he thinks it's just rotting away somewhere in the manor. All right, let's get to it. And I'm sure I'm going to locate it within 10 seconds like last time. First stop, Adeline's office to peruse in there. I have a strong feeling it won't be here though, considering how organized she is. Elsie seemed excited about our little adventure, but Adeline was pretty sure she's never seen a cloak like that in her office because, again, she's very organized. Elsie then decided to go search her own room for it and told Island to stay put. Why do I have a feeling she has it? Adeline then started reminiscing about her and Island looking for a signet ring when they were kids, and it turned out to be a very old Caldosian ring from a long thought lost dynasty. Man, they have a bunch of important stuff in this manor, don't they? When they sent it off to the capital to get it verified, the Caldosians found out and took the ring, kinda taking Island's treasure, even though he said it would have gone to a museum regardless. Kinda cute to hear about his love for archaeology since a very young age. And I knew it. Of course, little Miss Elsie would have had it in her room. Girl, what were you doing with that precious cloak? And it seems it was just in her closet. She just shoved all of the old stuff that was already in there towards the back when she moved in. Unfortunately, the cloak didn't come with any clues on how to find the 4th piece, and Adeline suggested it may be recorded in the annals of the house, as they go back hundreds of years. So it looks like he's got a lot of research ahead of him. I believe in you, Island, but make it fast. We got an actual ancient priestess to save, I think. I'm not too sure anymore. All right, that's done. Let's do another one, shall we? How about Celine? We entered the house and she was telling me how she's still struggling to get this mysterious plant to grow, but nothing seemed to be working. She said the codex hasn't been translated much, so it isn't super helpful at this moment in time. And then Dell waltzed in and told her sister her family made cherry cobbler, so she has to come over and eat it. And then I was invited for cherry cobbler too, and I suggested we should bring it over with us as a change of scenery. Maybe it grows from like laughter or love or something along those lines. I'm sure it's something very shonen. And then Dell, this little punk kid, embarrassed Celine right in front of me by saying she talks about me all the time. Oh my god, that is so freaking cute. Celine, you're so precious. Yes, we are besties. Thank you for noticing, Dell. All right, we gathered around the table for Holt's finest cherry cobbler. Where's the pun? Okay, there it is. Now the important question is, which pun do I go with? The second one is speaking to me, and unfortunately, I disappointed Celine. She's probably so tired of hearing puns all the time. I don't blame her. But eventually, she gave in and came up with a pun of her own. Aw, that's so cute. And I freaking knew it! Laughter makes it grow. That is certainly a unique plant. Well, I'm interested to see what happens next. That was a really cute heart event. All right, we'll do the other 2 either tomorrow or the next day. 2 heart events in one day is a good amount, I think. I found Juniper and gave her a gift for the day, and we upgraded our relationship to 6 hearts, so her next heart event will be arriving soon as well. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get this friendship rolling. I picked up a request on the board from Raina for some blueberries, so I decided to go ahead and just finish that up right away since it was rather simple, and got a recipe for blueberry jam. All right, what to do for the rest of the day? Let's see what skill points I can grab. I'm 2 levels away from unlocking the last skill in the cooking category, and the only ones I'm missing right now are in the woodcrafting category, so let's purchase them all. And this one is like a miracle to me. It's nice in the beginning, but once you start advancing through the game, it becomes a nuisance, especially when you want to decorate. The big water sprites sound like a really useful skill to unlock as well. I'd like to be able to have more tiles watered than what I currently have. I also used some of the pheromones and caught a new bug with it, the Saint Mantis, and went to the pier to add more fish bait to the trap. I then stopped by the inn to see what everyone was up to. I love listening to all their little stories and interactions, and I'm not just saying that. I truly, truly love it. I've said it before, and I will say it again. It's one of my all-time favorite things about this game. The writing is phenomenal. All of these random conversations help paint a picture on who these characters are, their past, who they are close with, their interests, and you learn more about the town. God, it's wonderful. All right, I woke up and took care of my cute little farm animals and decided to sell a giant amount of animal products once again. I'm getting close to the 100,000 tesserae needed for the bathhouse date, you guys. Okay, I shipped all the needed materials for the crown request, so let's go turn that in and then do Valen's next heart event. I was gifted money and curry for my efforts. Now on to the doctor's office. Ask that again? Do we remember how angry she got last time we asked too many questions about her basement? Yeah, we're not asking that again. At least not in such a direct manner. Let's go the more subtle route. She said she was planning to use it for an experiment with bacteria, and then she invited me down into her creepy basement. See, if you don't directly ask, sometimes you'll still get what you're seeking, and your life will be put at risk. I just think you could have chosen a brighter color palette, Valen. This is giving Dr. Frankenstein vibes, and not in a good way. She said that her family have been doctors for generations and that this is their laboratory. One of her ancestors actually created the panacea that she used to instantly cure Hayden's ankle, and she has a stockpile of it that she uses for emergencies only. A twisted ankle could have been healed on its own, no? I could have helped out at his farm for crying out loud. But because there is no recorded recipe of said panacea, she made it her life's work to recreate the recipe. That's actually pretty cool, Valen. Working hard to make something that can help cure others. I love that. And then she got kind of scary again. I swear I won't tell anyone, Valen. You should see the secrets I'm keeping right now. It's crazy, girl. No one would believe me, even if I told them. She said she may become incapacitated when she drinks this next batch, and I offered myself up as a guinea pig. Oh my god. See? I'm telling you! This is why Valen and Juniper are meant for each other. They are both crazy. At least she wanted to test it on herself first and didn't just straight up threaten me. I told her I'd volunteer because what else am I gonna freaking do? And at least she thanked me. Juniper should take notes on how to kindly ask her volunteers and how to show appreciation towards them. I could literally die. So I drank it and basically passed away. It's a good thing she has that panacea on hand, but why do I feel like it's about to run out? Why is this dialogue so funny to me? I think it's just the way I'm reading the lines in my head, or maybe it's the background music enhancing the humor of this situation. Even though it's not funny, I almost died. And yeah, it's gone. Bet you wish you didn't waste it on a man's twisted ankle, huh, Valen? Some rest and ice would have fixed him right up. She then asked for our help. I'm not gonna say no. Not now. She's terrifying. And the only doctor in town. I don't need to make any enemies. At least she seems like she feels bad for almost ending my existence. I appreciate that. Once we finished that quest, I picked up a request from Adeline for an iron watering can, went to the forge to make some more Mistral ingots, and forged the last 3 pieces of Mistral armor that were missing. I also forged the iron watering can for Adeline, turned that in immediately, and headed to the inn. I know there aren't any more Friday night storylines right now, but I thought I'd go around and talk to everyone, increase our friendships, and cook some dishes to hand out as gifts. I made a cabbage slaw for Raina, which is a love gift, and I needed curry powder to cook a dish for Bowler, so I ran over to the general store to buy some, and I made a mistake, because entering the general store triggered Hayden's next heart event. Hayden, I love both you and Henrietta to pieces, and I was kinda in the middle of something. Well, we had to get to it eventually, and I am curious to see how we are going to help our little feathered friend out. All right, let's listen to your plan, Hayden. Hayden says he has a picnic basket ready for us, but came to the store so Henrietta could pick out a treat. First of all, is this a date, Hayden? I do like you, but I'm kinda seeing someone. Also, he is so sweet to Henrietta. It's adorable. Holt says they usually don't allow pets, but Henrietta is a special exception. She seemed to enjoy hearing that. She was wandering throughout the store and settled on some corn. Oh, so cute. And now she's telepathically telling me to pick up the darn ear of corn so we can get along with our day. Then Holt gave her a strawberry for free. Oh, this is so wholesome. I love chickens. Everyone is being so kind to her. Hayden had a little picnic set up for us 3 at the park, and the 3 kids came along to say hi. Why do I feel like something bad is about to happen? Yeah, there it is. You can't call a chicken like Henrietta chicken. She's prideful, Dell. I'm surprised the kids don't already know who Henrietta is. Maybe they've never been formally introduced? Well, Dell invited her to go play in the mud with the other kids, and I told her to go have fun. Let's hope this goes well. Why am I nervous over a pixelated chicken? Hayden also got a bit nervous, but I told him to just relax. He needs to think about things other than Henrietta every now and then. As cute as she may seem, it's not healthy. He then sat down and told me about his troubles and stressors lately, saying it's been hard to take care of the farm while worrying about her. And he thanked me for helping him with Henrietta, and he blushed. Oh, Hayden, you're too stinking cute. God, I love this man. That was sweet. But now it's curry time. All right, I made an apple honey curry for Bowler, gazpacho for Adeline, a vegetable quiche for Hayden, some glowberry cookies from Reese, some beet soup for Valen, a Mont Blanc for Elsie, pan-fried bream for Errol, gazpacho for Holt as well, and some jasmine tea for Josephine. Woo! That was a lot of cooking, but we maxed out our cooking skill to 60, so all of our skills are currently the max they can be, and we can purchase the last of the cooking perks once we get a bit more essence. We only have Juniper's next heart event left, and then we'll be caught up. And you guys, look at my Tesseract totals! I did it! We are 1 step closer to the bathhouse state. Oh, and I leveled up the town rank to 79, but bathhouse state. Guess what date we're going on today? That's freaking right. Bathhouse state. Oh my God, I can hardly wait. Just stay there. Don't go anywhere, March. I'll be right back. All right, we've acquired the new date spot. Let's check it out. I'm really curious as to what the freaking photo will look like. That blush is deeper than any other blush he's had. Because, yeah, that's kind of intense to ask to go to a bathhouse on a date. But I can't imagine many people would turn that offer down if your significant other asked you to go. All right, commence the bathhouse date. All right, we were bobbing in the water, having a chat. Cute and wholesome. Now, what does the photo look like? Kind of what I was expecting. Why would I feel like a freaking pervert putting this photo up on my walls at home though, next to the other date photos? It was exactly what I was picturing in my mind. I mean, you gotta give the people what they want when you have a bathhouse date as an option. What surprises me the most about this whole thing is that Juniper allowed this. Following up after our date, March was in 7th heaven. This is going to be this man's favorite date spot now, isn't it? And he called me cute? What the heck did Juniper put in the bathwater? She did something to it, didn't she? Well, do it again, Juniper. I like this flowery, bubbly, non-drunk version of March. That was everything I was hoping it would be, and well worth the money. Well, maybe not giving money to Weedle because ew, but to experience that cuteness and that non-intimate yet intimate date, I shall be revisiting that one quite often. Also, we are still missing one date spot. I need to look up what that is. Speaking of Weedle, I need to bring the full 3 gold ingots, so let's go ahead and do that. And sure, I believe you. Not. I then gave my daily gifts to Island and Juniper, and one to Celine and Adeline. And Adeline just upgraded our relationship to 6 hearts. We're on a roll with heart events lately. I then picked up 2 requests from the town board, one for a pink diamond from Balor, and a crown request for copper tools. So I went ahead and finished Balor's request really quickly, forged some copper bars, and crafted 5 copper tools to ship for the crown request. All right, now that the bathhouse date has been acquired and will be thoroughly enjoyed for many Saturdays to come, we can use the rest of our money for buying materials to upgrade the farm, more apiaries, more greenhouses, more animals, and I think I'm gonna start breeding more colors while we're working on improving our friendships with Island and Juniper. I went to check up on the fish trap, and I actually caught something new, a rare fish called an amberjack. Glad I'm starting to catch some new things. And at the end of the night, I leveled up the town to level 80, meaning we are now gold rank. The next morning, we received Adeline's next heart event in the mail, so we'll get to hers and Juniper's in a few days. I also got a reward for reaching gold rank. I think we have 10 more levels available before they're capped, so maybe we'll be able to accomplish that as well. But today, I want to get a head start on my animal breeding adventures again to try and find all the colors. I still need the seasonal chickens, so we can try our luck at that. And I think I'm going to focus on the cows first, maybe the horses too. We'll see how much room I have. All right, I'm going to feed my tier 5 golden chickens some treats to see if we can get the springtime chicken, so we'll check back in a few days and see if we're lucky. I also gave a heart treat to my tier 2 cow and my tier 1 bull, so hopefully we'll get another tier 2 cow from their Wango Tango. Lastly, I fed 2 treats to my horses, so we'll see how everything goes. Hopefully we get some new colors. I then handed out some gifts to my new future besties, turned in the crown request, and donated the new fish to the museum. From there, I went to the deep forest because I'm still missing an artifact from this area, and said hi to Caldaris because I miss talking with him. I'm truly curious to see if he'll ever be able to walk around with all the folks in Mistria without any worries. I feel like we'll get there eventually. For the rest of the evening, I went diving in the ocean during a thunderstorm, looking for sunken artifacts because surely that's a smart idea. I'm also missing 1 artifact from this category, so we'll be hopping between here and the deep forest this week looking for them both. And at the end of the night, I leveled up the town ranking to 82. The next few days followed the same routine, talking to both Island and Juniper, as well as a few other people along the way, handing out gifts, taking care of the farm animals, and looking for artifacts. Nothing super interesting, just completing some basic mundane tasks, foraging a bit as well, and awaiting our next 3 babies on the farm. During this time, I caught a new fish in the bait trap, a blue crab, found the last sunken artifact at the beach, which was a rusted shield, completing the sunken artifact set, found a new bug with a pheromone called the Ant Queen, and unfortunately, I still didn't find the artifact in the deep forest I was looking for. All right, as we begin day 49, we're welcoming some new animals. I'm very excited to see we got a red colored cow, which is a tier 2 color. I kind of forgot what the theme I was going for with naming my animals, so let's just give them some temporary names and I'll change them. For our red cow, let's name him Poppy. We didn't get the spring chicken, unfortunately, so we'll try again. We'll name this little guy Sparky. And for our horse, we got a tier 2 color, and we'll name her Willow. Not too bad. We're going to buy the same set of animal treats again to see if they can give birth to different colored tier 2 babies. And this will be our last shot at getting the spring variant for the chickens. We'll see if we're lucky or not. Island is close to 7 hearts already, and we're filling out his loved and liked gift sections quite nicely. And I was going to make him some coconut cream pie, another one of his favorite desserts, but I'm out of butter and I need to go to the mill to make some, which is by the request board where Adeline's next heart event is. So let's go see what's up and speak with Juniper as well, which will finally catch us up on heart events. Her theme music is so upbeat and happy. It sounds like the music you'd hear in a movie montage of an actress having their best day ever. I met Adeline at the town request board and she thanked me for completing so many of the requests as it puts less stress on her. Of course, girl. That's what I'm here for. So we're gonna go on a quick tour and ask the citizens if there's anything they need directly, just to ensure everyone in town is doing fine. She's such a good leader. Honestly, and her eye for detail and organization is something I deeply admire because I strive to be the same way. We made our way to the general store, to the clinic, and to the carpenter shop, taking inventory of everything, talking with everyone. A very productive day so far. Landon said the same thing I did, that Adeline is a wonderful leader, 'cause she is, and told her it's important for her to take breaks every now and then. I agree. It's important to take time for yourself. And I could honestly use my own advice sometimes. I told her that perhaps it would be a good idea to take a break. She kind of ignored me and just did her own thing though. And she told me she enjoyed my company. Oh, Adeline, I want to be besties with you. I'm going to be besties with everyone in town, and that's wonderful, you know? But the 3 girls in town, Ulrich, Reese, Elsie, Hayden, and the 2 animals are like my top besties, okay? Marge wasn't included because he's the boyfriend, so he's included by default. On to our next spot, the dig site, where she started to get a bit exhausted, it seems. The fish bait shop, and then back to town, where we finally completed the inspection. But she was still talking about all the things she had left to do, and I kind of forced her to just eat something with me at the end. You'll feel so much better, and you'll be able to concentrate better too. And finally, she agreed. I love Adeline. She's such a fun character. I then stopped by the mill to make some butter and headed on inside the bathhouse to find Juniper so we can see what experiments she's bound to conduct on me today. And I'm sorry? She starts off our meeting by insulting my outfit. I thought a witch like yourself would appreciate whimsical outfits. I'm a spring lemon. It's cute. We can't all just wear dark purple all the time. Jeez, forgive me for trying to do something new and original. And what? Are we switching bodies or something? What are you talking about? We did switch bodies. I turned into Juniper and she gave me instructions to follow and a mission to complete. Girl, what the hell? You need to ask permission before you steal someone's body or their appearance. I don't know what happened, honestly. Well, I walked over to Celine's house and she said that a new plant tonic must be ready if I'm here, and I gave it to her, but I'm a little nervous. Don't hurt this precious soul, Juniper, please. Celine then said that before Juniper moved here, she was the only person interested in plants and that she's been having fun collaborating with her. Oh, that's so sweet. I'd like to pick the first option, but that's not something Juniper would say. So I told her not to get mushy, because that's more up her alley for sure. The next stop was to see Elsie, and we delivered a skin serum to her, and she commented that there was something magical about it. You have a strong intuition, Elsie. So wait, are we just running her errands for her because she's lazy? Is this what this is? I'm so confused. And there is no way I'm calling myself a clown to Elsie, because I believe I have been a saint to Miss Juniper, and I'd love to have Elsie talk all about it to the real Juniper next time they chat. And Elsie was glad Juniper was being more honest about how she views me. We all secretly know she enjoys my presence. Elsie is such a doll. I freaking love her. All right, we've returned. It was a chore run. Oh my God. I told her everyone had lovely things to say about her and she got a bit flustered. She's scary, but fun, and deep down, a softie too. And I never get tired of hearing her little laugh in the game. All right, we're caught up on heart events for the time being, and that makes me happy. The last few were really fun, and I rather enjoyed them. There was a request on the board for fennel for Celine, and I had some on me, and she happened to be out in her garden, so that was a very fast request to finish. And she gave me a spring salad recipe. I then gave Island the pie I cooked, and we're at 7 hearts. One more to go, my friend. And at the end of the night, I ranked up the town to level 82. All right, I made my rounds with Juniper and Island, and while talking with Island, I realized I have yet to use this machine that duplicates artifacts to use for decor. I really need to test that out soon. There's a lot of really cool artifacts in this game that are quite pretty. When I went to check my fish trap at the beach, I found a new fish called a hake, and my first artifact too, a porcelain figure. I have yet to fish up any other artifacts, so that's wonderful. I also stopped by the general store and purchased a few extra seeds for the greenhouse in the future, just in case I need some ingredients and I happen to be out of them, you know? And the rest of the day was pretty laid back. I tended to my animals and started mapping a new area to plant crops next season, since we can now build a larger 3x3 water sprite. So I may make a few adjustments and move things around once summer arrives. The next morning, I was going about my day like normal, noticed there wasn't as much grass available for the animals to eat, and when I went to my strawberry patch, there were 4 magic beads available and a row of missing strawberries. They ate my strawberries. They ate my profits. I'll need to be extra cautious about that in the future. Due to the fact that I'm missing out on earning a bit of tesserae today, I decided to go to the mill and grind up some wheat and bake some bread to sell. But before that, it's Saturday, which means it's date day, which means we are going to the bathhouse again. I'm stressed. March is always stressed. It's a good place to go to relax, don't you agree? See? He agrees. It is cute that they're just bobbing in the bath. I'm sure they couldn't do much more with this scenario, honestly. All right, we spent some quality time with the boyfriend, and unfortunately, there isn't much I can buy right now at the Saturday market. I still haven't found Talaferro's Earth Shroom recipe, and there are a few things I want to buy from Weedle, unfortunately, but I'd rather spend that money on greenhouses first. I chatted with the town a bit, which is always so lovely, foraged for a while since spring is almost over, and ended the evening. All right, today is the last day of spring, so I'm just going to get a head start on removing my crops, as they aren't going to produce anything else, unfortunately. And I was elated to see that on the last day of the season, my fruit trees started producing. At least I can get one harvest out of them. So I spent most of the day fixing up the 6 giant lots I'm setting aside for crops, stopped by a workbench in town to craft some of the larger water sprites, and I was able to make exactly 6, which is perfect. And yeah, my whole night was spent prepping the farm for tomorrow, but we ended the day with some new animals. We got a new colored cow, a blue one. Oh my god, she's so cute. I named her Blueberry. We unfortunately did not get the spring chick. Well, that's a darn bummer. So Hank it is, because sadly, you're probably gonna get sold, my friendly little dude. And we got a new horse. Love to see it. We'll name her Charcoal. Summer has officially begun. I'm so excited for a new season once again. And I let my animals out to eat, but I actually don't have much grass at all on the farm, so this is probably gonna be a problem. But let's worry about that in a bit. For now, let's go buy some seeds and start planting. So it looks like corn, tea seeds, and tomatoes make the most profit as they continuously regrow. Watermelon sells for a lot as well, but only grows once. Perhaps I'll set aside 1 plot to grow crops I'll keep and 5 plots simply to make a profit with. So I think I'm going to plant 2 plots with tea seeds, 2 plots with corn, 1 with tomatoes, and leave 1 open to grow all the other crops. Geez, spending all my money right at the beginning though. It'll be worth it. And as you can imagine, it took all day to get everything planted. I'm also going to plant a flower garden once again, for aesthetic purposes, you know. We're gonna be broke for about a week though, so in the meantime, we'll find other things to do. I spent the morning organizing my chest because I've just been throwing things everywhere and I could barely find what I was looking for. Also, I could have sworn I had more hay and seeds than this, so that sucks. While I am waiting to purchase more crops, I thought it would be a good idea to plant some of my magic seeds. I had 12 in my chest, but I only planted 9 for the moment because I don't think there will end up being more than 9 summer backpacks. When I was feeding my animals, I decided to go gather all the magic beads I've been gifted, and I have a total of 158. It's been a while since we visited the goddess chicken statue, so how about we do that today? Let's first throw 100 beads her way, and she blessed us with 2 sets of golden cookies. Not a bad start. We also received a recipe for deviled eggs and 4 animal accessories, a cute blue bow for our doggy, a halo for our rabbits, which we will be buying some soon, hopefully, a gold pendant for our alpacas, and a bowler hat for our capybaras. Nice! Thanks for providing a bit of happiness and sunshine to us on this gloomy day, goddess chicken statue. I then foraged the rest of the day. I'd like to gather a few seasonal ingredients as soon as possible for my terrariums and apiary. Speaking of, we should build another one soon, yeah? All right, we got 25 pieces of wheat from our greenhouse, so I'm gonna turn that into bread to sell so we can earn a little bit of money. I also made a dessert for Island, delivered it to that cherry guy, and found Juniper on the beach, bearing her body to the world, and gave her a newt. You're welcome, Juniper. I want to say she looks good in that, but it's also like 2 pieces of string, so again, I feel like that would be an uncomfortable compliment that could be taken the wrong way. And on my way back from delivering those gifts, I found the last legendary insect, you guys, the strobe firefly. Oh, I'm so freaking happy. Usually I have to search for days for these guys. Well, let's go back to the museum and drop him off, completing the legendary insect set, earning me this cool looking honeycomb shelf. From there, I decided to sell 2 of my chickens, the 2 new golden ones. It kills me to do it because I love all of my animals like children, but I need the room. We're trying for the summer chicken next. And then, for some reason, the game wouldn't let me out of the menu. Like, it was frozen. And so I looked it up, and it's a new bug everyone is complaining about. That's fun. Of course, it happens when I find a legendary bug. Why me, dude? This has happened twice this playthrough. I'm cursed, officially. So I'm gonna have to force quit. Be right back. All right, well, I did everything the same, cooked the same dessert and gave it to Island, the same gift with Juniper, made bread from the wheat. Now to go and try to find that darn bug. Hayden's shop is currently cursed, so let's not visit it until there's a patch, yeah? Maybe I can put them in daycare at least? I'll try at the beginning of the day tomorrow in case it freezes again. And I am very happy to report that I did in fact find the legendary firefly after only a few hours of searching. Oh my god, the internal tantrum I would have thrown would have been wild, you guys. So now we just gotta make sure to stay away from Hayden's for the rest of the day until it autosaves. Got it. Okay, maybe the game freezing was a blessing in disguise. I found another one right after the first dragonfly. And I also found a speedy snail earlier, so 3 legendaries today. I also decided to go through my animal products and sell a bunch right now as well, since I could use the money, and it fetched me a decent amount of tesserae, so maybe we can buy some flowers tomorrow. And I ranked the town to 83 at the end of the evening. Well, luckily, placing animals in daycare doesn't seem to brick the game, so we'll just place them in Hayden's care until I can sell them. So I was wrong. The blue cow is a tier 3 cow, so we are still missing 1 tier 2 cow, which is the white one. So we'll try for that little guy by breeding macadamia and chestnut again, which will either give us a tier 2 or a tier 3. We're missing 1 tier 2 for the horses as well, so we'll breed a tier 1 with a tier 2, and we'll keep trying for the seasonal chicken as well. I decided to buy 30 seeds of each flower available at the general store to start with, and 1 of each seasonal tree to plant in the the animal area. I'll buy more later on in the season. I got my 3 plots ready for flowers. I may want to experiment with different shapes and patterns, maybe different flower layouts too, but I just wanted to get them planted for now. This side of the farm could use some color and brightness. Plus, it's so messy and disorganized right now, so I thought it would be fun to have a flower garden. I ran out of stamina while planting them though, and somehow realized I still had a ton of free baths left at the bathhouse, so why not make use of them, huh? I really should have taken my hat off during the bath though. On the way back from the bathhouse, it was Friday night at the inn, so I stopped by to chat really quickly, and now we're at 7 hearts with Juniper. 1 more heart with her and Island, and we can finish the mines quest line. I then watered all of my flowers until I realized I forgot to plant my cosmos, so I made a few smaller dirt patches to plant them in. All right, our cute little flower garden has been filled out and watered, and today is Vera's birthday, and I never really talk to the vendors or give them gifts, which is a shame. So let's give her a birthday gift today. Also, our first batch of crops and tea leaves were ready to harvest, and holy moly, is it satisfying grabbing them all. I'm so freaking excited to see how much tesserae I earn with my first haul. Vera seemed to like her birthday gift, which is awesome. And I, of course, ritualistically gave 1 to Juniper and Island. I may want to hand out a few gifts to other people today as well. I feel like I'm ignoring everyone else, and I don't like that feeling. For our date today, let's go on a walk on the beach since it's summertime to switch things up a bit. Also, I think the last date spot is found from digging up artifacts in the Narrows, so I will keep my eye out. Lewis had some new clothing in stock, and this would have been nice to buy before our date just now, since March was the only one in a bathing suit. I'll need to keep this in mind next time I go to the beach so that I'm wearing the proper attire to fit in with everyone. But since it is summer, let's change up our wardrobe. The lemon look has been adorable, but let's freshen up our day-to-day wear. How about this? Looks pretty summery, I think. Let's hand out a few other gifts. A lobster roll for our favorite dragon, a diamond for both Adeline and Balor, and that upgraded Balor and I to a 6-heart relationship. A catmint for Celine, and I think Dell has some sort of foresight because she asked me to bring her a Caldosian sword, and that's the exact thing I brought for her. I'm even holding it above her head as she's asking for it. Almost as if I'm teasing her. Your mom is going to kill me one of these days for giving you all of these swords. She's a young adventurer in the making. What can I say? She's got what it takes. Let's start 'em young. I gave Luke an ant. Kinda anticlimactic after giving his friend a freaking sword. Maple got a blue conch shell, and that's all for the evening. And I made over 30,000 tesserae on that harvest. Not too bad. Also ranked the town up to level 84. We're getting close to 90, you guys. I think we can get there. All right, our magic seeds were done growing. We got 4 backpacks, and the rest were mana and stamina bottles, so this is all that's available for the summertime. There's a tomato version, a sunflower version, which I think I'm going to use with my current outfit, a daisy version, and a watermelon version. Super cute. I love these little accessories. Now that this last plot is empty again, let's go buy some seeds to plant. And since watermelons take the longest time to grow, let's do that first. I'm probably going to keep most of them for myself, but we shall see. I found it funny how a conversation I had with Caldaris yesterday was related to the conversation Juniper was having with me. Just little details I love about this game, dude. You are going to flip your lid when you find out that voice is a dragon girl. And I feel like it's been some time since we last went to the mines, and I'd like to gather some more Mistral ore, so I think we'll take a break from our farm tomorrow and do that. When I went to sleep, our new animals were born. Ooh, we got a pink cow. I'll name him Strawberry. And I think that's the summer variant for our chick. I'm not 100% sure though. Let's name her Sunshine. And we got our last tier 2 horse. Let's go. I named her Crema. Okay, well, I literally lost my mind once again just now because I almost got to the save screen and then the game crashed again. I have never experienced so many crashes with this game before, and I'm wondering if it has to do with them recently switching engines, or if it's a bug because I passed out while on my mount. But it's not exactly something I want to deal with this often, so I'm hoping it gets fixed. I know they are still in beta, so it's understandable. I've just never had it happen to me this much before. So let's play this day again. And I found out that Sunshine isn't a summer variant, just a regular old golden chick. Darn. Maybe it's just really, really hard to get the seasonals, or I'm doing something wrong. I was under the impression that you just breed the tier 5s during the season and there's a chance you'll get them, right? Maybe I just haven't been getting lucky. Okay, let's go to the mines a bit today to look for more Mistral ore, a few artifacts, and a few of the fish we're still missing. It takes a while to go through some of the levels, but when you haven't been mining in a while, it's rather enjoyable. I was grabbing a lot of Mistral ore, so nothing to complain about from me. There was a floor where I was being attacked by one of those sentient statues again, and the chest next to it contained a spell fruit parfait, which I believe is an item both Island and Juniper love, so that's awesome. I also caught a new fish on this level called a winged shrimp. Why are the fish and creatures down here like all kind of cute? Even that creepy crab from before is sort of cute. I found some corrupted Mistral armor in a mimic chest. Looks kind of cool. And a recipe for a cucumber sandwich. Taliaferro better watch out, and he better hope he never has this item as a cooking challenge, because I'm prepped and ready. We ended up finding 65 pieces of Mistral ore though, so not too bad. And I am very happy to report that my game didn't crash this time around. Today was another large harvest day. How I love harvest day. It's so satisfying and the money I make from it is wonderful too. As I was finishing up feeding my animals, I found another one of those legendary dragonflies. I've been enjoying how many legendaries I've caught over the last 2 seasons. Hopefully I'll get that same luck with the bee in the fall. Dude, what is going on? Lately, every time my game crashes, it rewards me with a bunch of legendary bugs as if it's saying, sorry. It knows what makes me happy. That's 2 within like 2 minutes. Can we get a third? Also, I looked it up and I was wrong. It's not the Narrows I need to search for the missing date inspiration item. It's the Eastern Road. So much freaking time wasted. So I'll look for it each time I go to the deep woods. I donated the new fish to the museum, so we're only missing 1 for the collection. I then stopped by the forge to craft some Mistral ingots. I could only make 7, but that's okay. From there, I decided to upgrade my sword and pickaxe to Mistral versions, as I feel those 2 tools would be the most beneficial to upgrade first. Also guys, look at how cute my dog is. I haven't been paying too much attention to Pecan because of how busy I've been, but she's still doing her part and helping out. Oh my god, it's so cute. She's so cute. While at the beach, I found one of the rare flowers randomly growing by the lighthouse called the Night Queen. And when I checked the fish trap, I pulled up a new artifact, a clay amphora, and found a new fish as well, a little guy called a bait thief. Today has been a good day when it comes to finding new and rare items. And at the end of the night, we leveled up to 85. The next morning, I woke up and watered my flower garden. They seem like they are just about ready to bloom. Oh, it's gonna look so cute. I think I should put my beehives in this area. I'm gonna build a few more today too, so we can place them over here. My little farm is starting to come together, you guys. Still need pathing and other decor, but the vision is coming along. When I went to go craft some more apiaries, I realized I only had enough iron ore to craft 5 bars of iron. So we are going to have to venture back down to the mines to gather more. But let's just craft 1 more for the time being, so we have at least 1 more available on the farm. Okay, let's move the 2 beehives here for now. I may change their placements later, but let's put some new bees inside to make some new types of honey. I added 4 of the big bees to create some uncommon honey, which produces premium honey. And in the second beehive, I added 4 of the rare moonlight bees, which will produce deluxe honey. We will need to find 4 of the fairy bees next season to make the legendary honey though. That may prove to be a challenge. I then started digging in the dirt like a mad woman, searching for the missing date item, and came across the kids hanging with Reese. Kids' dialogue is always so fun to listen to. Reese seems like the natural type of person who would be good with kids, you know? He's always so positive and cheery and just a pleasure to be around. I was on my way to the mill to make some flour so I could bake some bread, and while I was there, I checked the town board. And I'm sorry, what is this freaking crown request? The capital wants my super rare golden animal products? Girl, I don't have that much golden milk. Oh my god. Let's see how much I can make. I need 5 golden cheese and 5 golden mayo. I can barely make 5 golden cheeses. And there goes all of my stashed golden milk. You hate to see it. I have a good amount of golden eggs, so I can easily spare 10. But my golden milk! I had everything but a tomato to give my terrariums, and I received 3 different types of fish bait to use, so we'll add some to the trap tomorrow. And at the end of the evening, we ranked up to level 86. 4 more to go. The bigger flower patches are fully grown, and they look cute. Some of the combinations look better than the others, but overall I'm happy with it. It brings a bit of color and sparkle to the area, yeah? No. I'm so mad at myself. Why did I do that? Well, that didn't last long. Oh my gosh. I'm so used to just equipping my mount when going anywhere. I'll plant some replacements. And I saw that March and Reese were at the beach, so let's go say hi and change into our bathing suit because I will probably always forget to change into it. So let's take the opportunity to do this at least once, yeah? Cute. I look cute. Look at the little pixelated bikini. See, it looks like I belong down here. I don't stand out by wearing out-of-place clothing. I went for a swim, added a bit of bait to the fish trap, said hi to Raina. Oh my god, we look so cute talking together with our bathing suits on. Found Adeline and got my reward for the crown request. Hope the royals enjoy it. And she also requested a Mistral ingot, so I completed that as well. And apparently Mistral isn't even seen as a type of metal in the capital. That's interesting. Maybe because it hasn't been mined in freaking forever, so it's like a long forgotten type of precious metal. So you're saying I can become rich by mining this metal? Also, I was riding my little sheep through town and I've never noticed my little feet sticking out on the back. Why is that like so freaking cute? I probably never noticed because I always have boots on. To end the evening, I went and donated the fish I caught the other day to the museum, completing that set. And I got an animated waterfall. That's freaking cool. Look at it. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm gonna find a cool place to put you. All right, it's harvest day, my absolute favorite day ever. And we'll for sure have enough money tomorrow to purchase a large greenhouse. So we're gonna do that, but I'd like to have a more steady flow of income throughout the seasons, and that will definitely help. I teleported to the deep woods to look for that artifact I'm missing and a singing katydid for Luke, and spoke with Caldaris. I have a feeling this wish may be granted sooner than you think, if everything plays out the way I'm hoping it will in my mind. And I am just convinced at this point that I'm never going to find that missing artifact, or the last date inspiration item for that matter. I've looked for so long and I still haven't been able to find them. I bought a few more treats for my animals at Hayden's, including a dog treat for Pecan later on. So for the cows, we are still missing a tier 2 color, so I'm gonna feed my treats to my tier 1 cows in hopes we'll get the last color, which is a pure white cow. We're going to try for a seasonal chicken yet again by breeding my tier 5 golden chickens. And for the horses, we have all the tier 2 colors, so we're going for the tier 3s. I only have tier 2 females, so we'll breed a tier 1 and a tier 2, which will either give us a tier 2 or a tier 3 horse. So we'll see what baby animals we get in 4 days. I then ran to the inn to chat a little bit, and March set aside a beer for me. Now, I don't drink in my personal life, but the gesture was really cute, so of course I'm going to accept it. And he said he wanted to talk about it together with Reese next time we're all together. Oh my god, I can be Reese's bestie too, March? I know he was yours first, but you'll share? Oh my god, I'm getting further and further into his inner circle, you guys. Why does this simple, mundane conversation make me so happy? Also, I get a lot of free stuff when I talk to people, so Friday night is pretty awesome. Free food and drinks? Count me in. And when I went to sleep, I leveled up the town to rank 87. All right, we have a letter from Balor for his 6 heart event, so let's go see what he's up to. We made our way to the inn to join Balor for lunch, and okay, show off. The most expensive drink? Must be good news. Maybe he made a buttload of money or something. And it seems that way. Things are going good for him. He's in a good mood. Why do I feel as if that mood is about to sour? And I have 3 options? Again, I don't drink, so I would actually want a lemonade, but I don't want to rain on his good day. So sure, I'll drink to that. Oh my God, what is this fool doing here? No way. Okay, I was right. Things are about to get shady if this troll is involved. Of course, Mr. Gatekeep all the cool stuff Weedle shows up. This can't be good. Balor didn't seem all too happy to see him, but he just scooched his way into our little meeting. Ugh, I know there are people on the internet who are infatuated with Weedle. Can't be me. Sorry. Weedle goes on to say that his fellow merchants have been impressed with his work here in Mistria, and they want Balor to sign his Mistrian contract rights over to his business partners in exchange for a huge lump sum. No. No! Don't do it, Balor! Please, I can barely stand seeing Weedle on Saturdays. He kept the bathhouse date for me for so long. I like you so much more, Balor. Keep your wits about you, man. I feel like this isn't a good time to be sarcastic or act greedy, Breezy. Let's ask the important questions. I hate you, Weedle. This shady mob boss 70s car salesman looking simpleton. And he took the wine. That freaking jerk. Balor then said he needed time to think this over. What's there to think about, Balor? This deal is raising so many red flags. Support small businesses. Don't bow down to corporate greed. I feel like a mom who is disappointed in their child right now. Please, please, let me rip that contract up in front of Weedle next time he appears. Please let me be the one to do it, because I highly doubt he's gonna take the deal, obviously. But even considering it, tisk tisk, Balor. Well, let's go do something to lift my spirits. Since it's Saturday, let's go on our weekly date. And this time, I want to do a beach date with the proper attire on, at least once. So let's do that. And it looks so much cuter when I'm wearing a bathing suit. Oh. While at the market, I gave Raina a liked gift because she's a cutie and I'm slacking when it comes to our friendship. And I also gave Luke the bug he requested. All right, Weedle, you darn scumbag. I need one of your storage chests because I'm gonna start organizing all my items. So let's start with one. What color to get though? Maybe a brown one for outside? I also purchased a large white greenhouse for 100,000. Goodbye, Tesserae. Okay, let's see how much this chest can hold. And it looks like it's around the same as the Mist Cloud chest I currently have on my farm, but this will be useful for sure. So I'm gonna start moving these chests out of this area because I wanna start placing some fruit trees and a greenhouse or two over in this section. I may just place a bunch of these storage chests in my spare room in the house for now until I figure out what I wanna do with them all. And for today's activities, I basically spent the entirety of this rainy day moving all of my items and chests inside my house. They won't stay there forever. I'll end up moving them, I'm sure. But it gave me a fun idea that I could maybe design a basement or attic room and use that space to hold all my storage chests in the future. We started the day by placing down our large greenhouse, but we still are missing a few materials. So let's go to the mines to craft a few more refined stone and glass, drop the materials off, and bam, we have a new, beautiful greenhouse. I'm so excited. It's so much bigger in here. Oh, I can grow so many things. I think I'm going to make this my new plot for growing plants for profit, and the smaller greenhouse will be for the other seasonal plants I may need. Awesome, awesome. I feel like things are finally starting to come together. Today is also harvest day, and my watermelons have finished growing as well, so this is truly a wonderful day so far. I found Juniper to give her a gift, and man, I wish I could speak to Dozy and Henrietta like Junie and Hayden do. It has to be some sort of magic, right? I also went to the inn while I was nearby to do my rounds of daily chats, and Raina gave me a scone, and now we're at 6 hearts. I told you guys I wanted to make progress with my girl here, and here we are. I was talking with Valen at the museum too, and she was telling me how her family would keep journals of various ailments throughout the generations. And there was this one crazy entry from an affliction named Pun Mania, which I'm pretty sure Holt is currently suffering from. Also, I'm only missing one bug from the pheromone set, and then we'll have the insects category 100% completed at the museum. We're missing one ruins fish and all the fish bait fish, which I'm assuming are caught by just throwing fish bait into bodies of water instead of the fish trap. And we have quite a few artifacts left. One from the deep woods, which is impossible to find. 4 we can catch using the fish trap, 2 more of the dragon artifacts, 2 more ritual floor artifacts, and 1 more gem, which is the perfect pink diamond. Still a bunch left to do. I ran to the general store to buy some cucumber seeds, chili pepper seeds, and sugarcane seeds, along with 2 more fruit trees. I planned to buy more, but I wanted to grab 2 more just in case I forget before the season ends. I went ahead and planted the sugarcane seeds first, and then headed to sleep. Now we are at level 88, 2 more until we reach the current level cap. And we got the white cow that we wanted, so we've acquired all the tier 2 cows. Let's name her Breezy, because the game knows I'd be happy to see this outcome. I find it hard to tell if the baby chicks are seasonals or not. We'll have to manually check, but we'll go with Pepper for the name. And we got another brown horse, so nothing new for the horsies. And we'll just name him Cake. Why not? So it seems the baby chick is not a summer seasonal. Dang, they are really hard to get. I'm determined to hatch him though. I'll see this mission through to the end. I got my first batch of premium honey from my beehive. Nice. I need to wait for my sugarcane to grow to offer it to the other one though. I handed out some gifts to Juniper and Island. Getting closer and closer each day to 8 hearts with both of them. Bought a bit of hay and grass seeds for the animals and decided to plant my cucumbers and peppers in the new greenhouse since they don't take that long to grow. I'm in the mood to go mining today, so let's head on over there and go gather some more Mistral ore. While in the mines, I found a new cosmetic item called the Ancient Witch Broom, found a crafting recipe for a ruins pot, a Witch Queen moon lamp, which honestly looks pretty cool, a crafting recipe for a ruins window, and I walked away with over 100 pieces of Mistral ore, so I'm happy about that. I harvested all of my crops, went to the mill to make some wheat, and kind of ran around doing my basic routine these days. Handing out gifts, watering plants, you know how it is. Kinda a simple, boring day. I did, however, forge 3 new Mistral tools. An axe, a hoe, and a watering can, and I leveled up the town rank to 89 at the end of the evening. We only have 6 items left to complete Island's Loved Gifts card. I feel so accomplished, and we are so close to 8 hearts with him. I think either today or tomorrow we'll reach that. So first thing in the morning, I made some sweet sesame balls, grabbed a morel mushroom, and handed them out to both my future besties. And we got so super close, so for sure tomorrow we'll get to 8 hearts. I'm excited. It feels like it's taken a long time. On my way to the deep forest, I found another legendary strobe firefly, so hopefully this is a sign that today is going to be a good day. My fruit trees in the animal area produced their first harvest, which is lovely. I then went to check on my fish trap, and I caught a nautical compass. Unfortunately, it isn't an artifact, but still cool nonetheless. From there, I decided to use some fish bait in the ocean by simply throwing it in, and I caught a new fish called a copper rockfish. And directly after I caught that dude, I caught an even smaller dude called an ironfish. I sense a theme here. So I went ahead and dropped those items off at the museum, went back home, and went to sleep. All right, today is both mine and Island's birthday. I always forget we share a birthday in the game. Well, the best birthday present I could possibly receive is the gift of an 8-heart friendship, and I feel it in the wind. It's about to happen. First though, Juniper wished me a happy birthday. It's weird hearing her say that in such a plain and simple manner. Holt sang me a song. Well, 1/4 of a song. And he gave me a cake? I gotta talk with everybody. Hold up. And I need to go check my mail later when I get home to see what everyone sent me. I forgot to do that. Josephine made me a chocolate cake. This sweet lady. That's 2 cakes so far today. Hemlock made me a lemonade. Aw, all the non-romanceables give me gifts on my birthday? Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. If I did, I totally forgot. And after Island wished me a happy birthday, I gave him some candied strawberries, and we reached 8 hearts. Best birthday gift ever, Island. Can't wait to friend zone you tomorrow, but we'll be best friends, so it's okay. March also got me a cake. A birthday cake? Oh my gosh. That's 3 cakes today. And one of them's from my shy boyfriend. Ugh, I know he took his time baking this to make sure it was perfect. I'm eating it right now. Nora also gave me a treat, a cherry tart. And not every adult gave me a gift, so maybe I have to be a certain heart level with them. Regardless, it's really cute and I adore being overwhelmed with gifts and treats. Today calls for a relaxing bathhouse date. Wouldn't you agree, March? He agrees. Also, I bought an icebox from Weedle's stall to help with all of my food storage issues. It kills me to give money to this man. I went back home to grab all of my presents, and I find it funny how March's letter still has the same flat tone to it. It's not mean or anything, just very blah and straight to the point, which I guess that still fits him in a way. I love how Caldaris writes his letter. It's so cute. I also received Raina's next heart event, so we'll get to that shortly as well. From there, I set up my new fridge, which will make things more organized. And I was in a pretty good mood today after being drowned in love from the town, so I wanted to hand out a few more items. I just grabbed a handful of fruits from my fridge and went through my list of villagers to see if any of them liked or loved these items. It's a fast method of filling out their cards in the beginning, I suppose. But I made a mistake. I went to give Hemlock a lemon and walked into Raina's heart event. I was saving that for tomorrow alongside Islands. All right, it's okay, Raina. I was just here to give your dad a gift, but let's see what you're up to. So Raina asked me to be her sous chef for the cooking competition. Oh my God, that is so sweet. But now I'm nervous. You did not just say that. So we started doing some test runs on the dishes we planned to serve for the contest, and then Balor walked in. He just arrived back from the capital with news on who the final judge for the cooking competition will be, and I freaking knew it would be that bozo. I've only completed 2 of his challenges, so I'm a bit behind, but I wouldn't worry, Raina. He's all bark and no bite. We could take him. So she decided to redo the menu based on the new information we obtained from Balor, which I suppose is smart. Use every advantage you have, right? So we did a bit of cooking, some experimenting, and presented the dishes to her family who are serving as our taste testers. Josephine seemed a bit thrown off by the curry, and Raina said she sweetened it more than usual, since people in the capital tend to prefer it that way. Added a bit of spice to the chocolate cake, and it didn't seem like they were really liking the dishes. Uh-oh. It's probably best that Raina sticks to making food she would like to eat and is proud of, versus trying to appeal to what Taliaferro likes. She won't really stand out if she makes food that's commonplace in the capital, right? Also, Maple is not a fan. So that didn't go as planned, but it was a learning experience, which is a positive way of looking at things. Also, I told her I'd be here to help no matter what direction she decides to go, because that's what supportive besties do. Okay, I finally gave Hemlock his lemon, handed out a few more items, and turned in for the night. The next morning, my crops were ready to harvest, including my sugarcane and cucumbers that I planted, so I could finally feed my other beehive, and after doing so, I got my first jar of deluxe honey. All right, we got our 8 heart event for Island. I think this is the second 8 heart event we've done right after March's, right? He invited me out on a walk in the deep woods, so let's go meet him, shall we? Fitting that we'd have a heart event out in the deep woods where Caldaris resides while we're on a mission looking for the Dragonsworn armor. A bit poetic, yeah? I met him under the cool-looking curved tree stump, and he was talking about the large, pretty trees out here and how they are known as the guardians of the woods. I wish we could plant those cool-looking pine trees on the farm. They're super cool. He said that legends say the trees offer protection even after they fall, and he would often come to read beneath this fallen tree before the earthquake happened. I do have to agree, it is a rather peaceful place. Could be because there is a kind, protective, caring dragon that oversees the safety of this land and its citizens. Or it could simply be the vibes. I admire his ability to notice and appreciate the little things around him. I'm very much like that as well, often finding joy in the small things in life, like the beauty of seeing trees come to life due to the breeze, or how the sun glitters on the water during evening sunsets. so I am enjoying his vibes. He makes this place seem even more tranquil since he appreciates all the small details people tend to overlook. I told him I also feel a sense of connection, as I want to match his energy. He was doing a bit of self-reflecting, pondering about all the people that have visited this part of the forest, and said that he feels something about this place is very mysterious. Maybe he can sense Caldaris? God, I can't wait until he gets to talk to him. If he ever does, but I have a feeling he will. But this is like kind of sweet. I love when people start thinking deeply about things, especially nature and history and just the beauty in the things all around us. We don't do that enough as humans, I believe. He got a little bashful, getting caught up in talking about the past, and said he wanted to enjoy being in the moment. You're so cute, Island. We then made it to the Grove of Rest, where Ulrich and March's parents reside, along with Hayden's aunt or grandma? I can't recall, but I think it's his grandma. He was about to tell me about the 3 trees in the back and how they are special from the rest. I remember we couldn't read the gravestones on these trees because of how high up they were, so I told him to keep talking because you have got me interested, sir. He said that ever since people have lived here, whenever a loved one passed on, people in the community would plant trees to remember them by, and as the trees grow, the gravestones make its way further up towards the sky, aiding the spirit into its next life. That's actually really beautiful. What a lovely way to remember someone. I then went further into the forest, and why am I just now realizing all of these trees have markers on them too? I never freaking noticed that. Makes sense since he said people have been doing this for a long time, and there's only like 8 trees in the middle of this patch of forest. And for some reason, I suddenly sensed something deep in the forest, and he seemed a bit confused. But I touched the tree and a secret passage opened up? How the heck did I know that? Am I like in touch with nature more because I have magical powers? The path led us to a small opening with another steely and a chest. And of course, I found the last piece of the Dragon Sworn armor. So now we have the full set. And I basically told him, I don't know. I can't explain it, Island. Too much weird crud has been going on. He wanted to get them to the museum ASAP, probably because it's raining and we don't want the armor to rust. But he changed his mind and said we could appreciate the moment and relax a bit. That sounds nice. We then made our way back under the curved fallen tree, and he thanked me for this fun adventure we've been on to locate all the pieces of the armor and said he didn't want our adventure together to be over. Darn. I don't want to friend zone you after we just had a wonderful time together. But it has to be done. Don't worry though. You're about to go on an even bigger adventure, Island. All right? We got Island locked down as one of our besties. Up next is Juniper. I went ahead and gave her some golden cookies, and hopefully in the next few days, we'll have her to 8 hearts as well. And at the end of the evening, we ranked up the town level to 90, which is the highest we can go for the moment. I'm excited to see what other town repairs we'll get access to when the full game releases in August. To start the day off, we're going to give our animals a few more treats so they can breed yet again. We're trying for a tier 3 horse, as we have all the tier 2s. We're trying for the last tier 3 cow, which is purple. And while I have zero hope that I'll achieve the outcome I want, we're trying for the seasonal chicken once again. My chili peppers were done growing in the greenhouse as well, and I got a faux chili pepper recipe. I've been getting a lot of the faux recipes lately, so I'll have to craft a few more to place around the animal area. I went to pick my prizes up at the request board, and I got this pretty crown cosmetic. Ooh, very regal. There was also 2 requests available, another crown request to ship 5 baked main dishes of any kind, and a sunflower for Maple. Also, I am simply convinced that I missed my one and only opportunity to find the date spot and the missing artifact in the deep woods. I can't believe it's taking me this long to find them. While on my way back, I remembered that I had an auto petter in my inventory, and so I decided to go place it in one of the barns because petting the animals each day does take up quite a bit of my time. Whoa, so it comforts the animals by singing to them? That's kind of sick. I actually really like that it plays a tune instead of simply petting them. I need to get one of these for every barn and coop, and the auto feeders too. It'll make my life so much easier. So I decided that I'm just gonna start from the top of my friends list and go down when it comes to gifting people. Let's just focus on a few people at a time and try to fill out their little sections. Adeline gets a lemonade, Valor gets an emerald, Juniper gets my last and only middle mist flower. You're welcome, they're extremely rare. Celine gets a Celosius flower, and Caldaris gets some fish tacos. Next, I want to craft 3 more of those Autopetter sprite statues, so let's go do that. I'm also going to finally craft the big bell, as I know that will be handy on days where I have very little time to send my animals back inside their homes. I crafted a few more paving stones as well, went home and tested them out, and I'm not sure I like the layout, unfortunately. Maybe this would look better near the crops? Let's start the day off by handing out some gifts. Another new flower for Celine, a lemon for Adeline, a quick hello to Dozy because I love him, and what a lovely surprise! We're at 4 hearts now. It should be higher, honestly. Juniper gets a pizza because I've reached the max amount of new items I can gift her that are available at my disposal, so we're recycling items now. She still likes it though. And she thinks her swimsuit is too modest? I don't even want to know what an unmodest swimsuit would look like on her. Like pasties and 1 string instead of 2? Valor gets some chickpea curry, and Caldaris gets some chocolate cake. I like how a lot of his beloved gifts are basic human dishes. His curiosity revolving humans and their customs is really sweet. I then harvested all of my crops, added essence stones to all the animals' sprite statues, and got my first golden bullhorn. I feel like that took forever. See, it's freaking hard to get golden animal products, dude. Takes a lot of love and food. I then placed down the big bell, and the combination of these 2 items is going to make my life so much easier. I also purchased 3 more auto feeders from Hayden, although the problem with this is going to be getting enough hay and seeds to fill them consistently. I then messed around with some tiles again, still not liking how it looks. I'm trying to figure out a way in my mind to lay it out so it looks nice. I then went to sleep and leveled up the town to 91. Maybe I misunderstood, and once we reach 100, it just stops? Well, okay, I'll take it. Today is the day where we get Junie to 8 hearts, you guys. I can feel it. I don't think Ulrich should be in charge of the forge ever. And there we go, 8 hearts with Juniper, and her reaction to the gift changed as well. Interesting. She's a bit more humble, a bit more blushy. I'm really excited to see what her last heart event will entail. Tomorrow, we shall see. Island was nearby, and he said he wanted to run a theory by me about the Dragonsborn armor. You're interested in what's about to go down, huh? Now that I think about it, his heart quests were all about finding the armor, and Juniper's revolve around magic. Both of these things are probably going to be relevant to the priestess storyline. I have a feeling I'm going to be wearing that armor when we go to save her. Everything seems to be leading to that conclusion. The dots are starting to connect. Speaking of the Dragonsworn, I should go and give this incredibly hot pot to my dragon, and he loved it. Aw. I then, once again, experimented in my garden. I really want to try to make it look pretty before the end of this playthrough, but I'm not sure how to go about it. Well, for now, it's baby animal time, and we got our last tier 3, the spotted purple cow. She's adorable, and we're gonna name her Boysenberry. Once again, I can't tell if the chicks are just gold or summer variants, so we'll manually check them later. Lemon is a cute name though, so we'll go with that. And we got our first tier 3 horse, a blue one. And I'm definitely not naming him Poggers. How about Bronconius? Today is going to be a long day, I feel. Juniper is requesting a Breath of Flame flower and to wear something I don't mind getting wet in. For an 8 heart event, that sounds spicy. Luckily, I have a few Breath of Flame left. I was going to flip if I had to go into the caves to find one. All right, let's head on over to the bathhouse. And she's not here. All right, let's head to the manor instead. And I forgot to wear my bathing suit, so a cami top and a skirt will have to do. She's testing a new bath infusion, and we are the test subjects. Fun. especially with a flower called Breath of Flame. It's going to cook us alive, isn't it? She then said she'd be joining us, which threw me for a loop, and informed us it's a special bath infusion formulated for 2 people. That sounds like the biggest excuse I've ever heard. Just say you want to relax with me, Juniper. I'd say yes, you know. I'd rather be on a powerful witch's good side than be enemies. So here we are enjoying the bath together, and I told her I was concerned about the color, only because it's juniper. It might permanently dye my skin. I told her the scent was very soothing, and she was being really, really nice. I like this side of juniper. The sarcastic side is fun too, but balance is also nice. She then said it was time to start the experiment. Is this not the experiment? And then she told me to close my eyes and to relax. And then she cast a spell on me and on her. Wait, what's going on? And uh-oh, she ran out of the bath. This isn't looking good. So she turned into a monster, kinda. Why does it actually look good on her? But is she crying? No, don't start to cry, dude. That isn't fair. She said she was expecting pain, but not the scales. I'm wondering what she was trying to accomplish exactly. She was helping us? She was helping us! I had a curse put upon me by the sealing scroll. I'm telling you, there is no way someone who treats their pets with such kindness can be a rotten person deep down. I've decided. We are going to be magic besties, and you have no say in this. So I wasn't expecting something like this to happen at all during this hard event. She did all of this to remove a curse placed upon us. Okay, so Island has all the Dragon's Guard armor, and I'm assuming we're gonna help her remove a curse before this is over, both of which will be relevant for the priestess, I'm sure. She said she should have never helped us track down that scroll, and that she felt a shift happen when it opened up, saying that we shouldn't have survived it. You are correct there. These scrolls are often crafted with a secondary curse and stay hidden until it's too late to detect them, even by the most skilled magic users. But she found it. The witch that you are, Miss Juniper. She said she can't dispel it completely, but only weaken and transfer it, and to dispel it would require essence magic. Oh boy, I'm about to blow your mind. She said only ancients can use that type of magic, and also mentioned that she's been lying to me, using me as a test subject as she's been studying me all along. Because I'm a freak with ancient magic, right? She said she never knew why she was drawn to Mistria, and that at a young age, sorceresses are taught to follow their intuition, and it brought her here. She said it became clear once we moved to town, as magic began flowing throughout the town. Witch-speak artifacts kept showing up. Yeah, some of that is my doing. And she said because of all that, I had to be hiding some kind of power. She's smart. At least she's questioning this stuff, unlike a lot of other people who live here. Unlike me, why don't I question things? Every experiment she had us do was a front for her to try and uncover our magic and take it for herself, and still she yearns for it. But she said she never wanted us to get hurt, and I told her it's fine and to just let me help. You have been more kind to me in these last 5 minutes than the last 3 years I've been here. We're good. I need your help too, so let's help each other, magical bestie. And there we go. A little bit of magic, and she's cured. She looks normal again, but I kind of miss that half monster form. It was honestly kind of cool looking. Then she told me to go take a seat and wait for her to gather her thoughts. Understandable. She told us she's never seen a spell like the one we performed, and so I told her everything. The long version of the story. The details are incredibly important with events that are so unbelievably insane. Finally someone to share my secret with. Oh, I'm not the only one who knows about Caldaris now. I'm so freaking happy. She apologized for everything, and now we're besties. I'm so happy to have this girl on my side. Why was her heart event one of the most fun and interesting of the bunch? I mean, I know all the events revolve around the characters' careers or interests, right? But hers seems a bit more relevant to the mysteries around town and the dragons and such, so it's actually important to the story. Now I understand why we had to go through all of her hard events before going back to the mines. But she's right. We should keep this all a secret for now. Well, maybe for the next 5 minutes or so, because we're going back down to the mines today. I've been dying to see what happens next. And I hope so, Junie. I'd really love to see the town interacting with Caldaris and learning about magic more. I'm so excited. The story is getting interesting now that another person knows about Caldaris. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm ready. The quest says to talk to Juniper after both 8 hard events. Let's start the mission. So I filled her in on what's been going on down in the mines, how we've been helping a dragon priestess ghost, standing guard at the gate between worlds where all magic originates, and we need her help. She seemed happy about this revelation, I think. And yes, she is indeed elated to help us out. Next, we need to tell Island. I have a feeling he's going to freak out with joy once he learns everything and discovers dragons are amongst the citizens of Mistria and that I am the Dragonsworn. She said it would be easier to just ask Caldaris, but I told her that for some reason the dragon priestess thinks that's a bad idea. We still don't know why, and that makes me nervous. Juniper felt bad for Caldaris and agreed we shouldn't tell him about anything quite yet. Again, I think that's a bad idea. He may have some knowledge about the situation. Me too! Are we on the same wavelength here? We then made our way to Island Study, and Juniper told him to prepare himself because his whole worldview is about to be shattered. She looks so proud saying that too. I wanted to say that. Well then, let's get to it. Chop chop. Juniper then told him he may want to sit down for this explanation. That's a smart idea. All right, here we go. Yeah, he's about to flip out with extreme and utter joy. There it is. I knew he would be freaking out with excitement instead of fear. This is like a dream come true to him. He wanted to know more, so I went ahead and told him more. But maybe I overloaded him with too much information? Or perhaps not. He's pacing back and forth due to the frenzy of positive emotions coursing through his body. It's honestly really cute to see, because I know he appreciates that this is our new reality and finds complete amazement in it all. For example, if I told this information to Dell, she'd just ask if she could fly on Caldaris' back high up in the sky and demand him to make her a sword so she could be his #1 Dragonsworn. Island then thanked us for trusting him with this secret and said he will help however he can. I knew I could count on you, Island. But Juniper said, enough mush, let's get to business and figure out how to decipher the tablet. She suggested that the blank tablet could be due to a form of magic encryption, a spell that's incredibly rare and powerful, and us being able to sense words at all is a positive sign, meaning we meet part of the requirements to read it. And I'm assuming being a Dragonsworn is one of the requirements to being able to read a Dragonsworn tablet. That would make sense. And Island pieced it together. Because we repaired Caldaris' shrine when we first came here, and we were tasked with returning his power with offerings of magic, and he granted us the ability to see and wield magic, we have been bestowed with the title of Dragonsworn. And the armor, I knew it would come into play. He said the armor belongs to me because I'm the Dragonsworn of this age. So they thought maybe if I tried on the armor, a missing piece to this puzzle could be revealed. Luckily, no one was at the museum. Very convenient. And so I went ahead and put it on. Fits like a glove. And I started to glow after putting it on, with a new spell being granted to me, perhaps? They were both a bit shocked by the light, but who cares? Look at how cool I look. Like a freaking warrior that would battle amongst the clouds during the setting sun. That's the vibes I'm getting from this set. Juniper then said that it makes sense that only a true Dragonsworn could read a Dragonsworn tablet. Maybe that was the power I was just granted. So I decided to go back into the mines to test it out and see if we can indeed read the tablet. Boo! I wanted them to go down in the mines with me. I guess it would be too dangerous for them to do that. They shouldn't put their lives in danger. Looks like we'll be switching out all of the Mistral armor for the Dragonsworn armor, since the defense is a bit higher. I wonder if it will still emit a light on the lower levels though, like the Mistral armor does. For that reason alone, I don't want to sell it quite yet. Okay, let's go and read the tablet, you guys. I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen next. And it reads, time and magic flow, standing across the current, the gate between worlds. Light descends, darkness rises, between fields bloom. She who is called the Dragonsworn, restore balance to all. Something is about to happen. I can feel it. My calling, my purpose. I'm the avatar of this world. And I learned a few recipes: a Dragon Forge Fang, a Dragon Forge Horn, a Dragon Forge Core, and a Dragon Forge Powder. I'm assuming these are the 4 offerings needed to open the final gate. Let's see what she has to say. And basically, she just told me to go do my job and craft the items. But I'll need to do it at the Dragon Forge in the priestess's quarters. Interesting. All right, let's see if I can make anything right now. And I'm missing a few items. I need to craft 4 medium essence stones. I need to find 3 more void pearls and forge 2 more mistral ingots. All right, we've got some work to do, which means more time in the mines, which is exactly what I did for the rest of the day. Mined mistral, focus on catching fish, and while doing just that, I caught the last fish we needed down here for museum donations. I found a few cosmetic items, a new artifact called Hardened Essence, and 2 void pearls, so we'll need to find 1 more to craft all the necessary items. I dropped the 2 new items off at the museum, completing the Ruins fish set, leaving only 3 left to find using fish bait. Yesterday certainly was a long day, wasn't it, everyone? So you know what would be nice? Going on a quick date with March. Still can't find the last date item, but it'll appear when I need it the most. I'm sure of it. We went on a gem cutting date, which is always so cute. Then I decided to buy a few things from Weedle's shop, even though it kills me every time I have to. I decided to try out one of the sworn snake oils, and I went with the fire one, bought another chest and fridge, and the hunter's bow cosmetic item. Today is the final harvest before the season ends, since it takes 3 days for my crops to regrow. So let's collect everything and save a few for personal use. I do want to attend the Shooting Star Festival tomorrow because it's cute, so we may take off another day from mining, or I'll do that in the daytime to look for more void pearls. And I noticed one of my beehives was asking for a rose. I looked to see if I've ever found roses around town, and I haven't. What? So I looked it up, and you can only forge them near the manor during the summer. Hello? Why was I not aware of this? No freaking way. I seriously need to start exploring the town more. I cannot believe I've basically gone 3 summers without grabbing a single rose. But to be fair, it's kind of hidden away in an area I have no need to go to. Well, at least I have a few now. I also bought 8 more pear and peach saplings because I want to plant a few inside of my greenhouses and plant a bunch on the farm. So I just want to buy them and hold onto them until I have a game plan. Let's also harvest our flowers today so I don't accidentally forget to do that tomorrow and come home to find they all died. I would be so upset. I got a few faux recipes from doing so, which is awesome. The final thing I did to prep for the season is purchase enough hay and seeds to last my animals a few days, so I don't have to worry about them as much and they can still produce animal goods. And at the end of the evening, I leveled up the town rank to 92. Today is the Shooting Star Festival, so of course I'm gonna go give my brooch to March. I'm sorry. It may seem boring, but I'm just not one of those players that can date someone and then go out with someone else on the side. It makes me feel too scummy. I'm loyal to one person each and every playthrough. So I found my boyfriend, invited him to watch the stars, and at least he seemed happy about it. Very level-headed, very nonchalant, yet still excited. Probably won't be as dramatic as the last time we went, I'm assuming. Well, until 8 p.m., I'm gonna go look for some more void pearls. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any, but I did grab a decent amount of mistral ore, so that's awesome. On my way to the festival, I saw Miss Henrietta, said hi, and now we are at 4 hearts. Both her and Dozy are 4 heart friends now. Maybe we can increase that to 5 in the next 20 days. And look how chipper he is this year. God, I love it. And it just turned out to be a quick little montage like all the other dates, but it was still adorable. Oh, and we get a date photo too? Cute. I dig it. I figured it would be a quick little date, but a little follow-up dialogue or perhaps mentioning the first time we went up here would have been a nice little touch. Still adorable. Okay, today is the first day of fall. I really want to go down and look for another void pearl, but I should really focus on getting my seeds planted in the ground today. So let's go do that. And on the way there, I spotted Juniper and talked to her. And she's so much more kind now, in a Juniper type of way though. She's a very intriguing and fun character. I'm excited to see where this overarching storyline goes and if she'll assist us even further with her magical knowledge. So wheat and rice sell for the most, followed by onions and cranberries. So for my 6 plots, I think I'm going to plant 1 batch of onions and cranberries and 2 plots for wheat and rice. I'll also buy some sweet potatoes, broccoli, and pumpkins and plant them in the greenhouse for the season. I'll focus on the flowers at a later date. I then spent a good chunk of time cleaning up debris from the farm and kind of relaxing before tomorrow. I'm hoping we are able to find the last void pearl rather fast so we can go ahead and move along with freeing the priestess. We're off to the mines, but not before I change my clothes. I feel like a mission this important should reflect in our look, right? Now we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm gonna test out that fire snake oil and see what it does. It looks pretty cool, and I've noticed it takes less hits to destroy an enemy, so that's pretty useful. I only wish it lasted the whole day instead of just 6 hours. 6 hours goes by super fast in this game. And on the 3rd floor down, I found the last needed void pearl, so let's go ahead and forge some mistral ore at March's Forge first, because I forgot to do that, and then head to the Dragon Forge to create the needed materials for the offering. Okay, we have all the items we need, so let's go back to level 100 and see what happens. And it says, breaking the final seal will end my day, so something big is about to happen. Okay, there she is. We freed the priestess and the final seal has been broken. She asked me to follow her and she like freaking teleported backwards like a poltergeist. That was really spooky. And where the heck am I? The void? I'm in Mistria, but not. And there's a bunch of items I collect around town, blacked out everywhere. What in the goose's gravy is going on? Just quickly chiming in here. This is a bug. It's not actually supposed to look like this. I looked it up and the devs patched this the day after I played, because of course they did. The background for this scene is supposed to be a black starry sky, but instead we get the game assets just floating around, so just enjoy the silly bug for what it is. She said the power of the dragon is returning and that balance is about to be restored. And then she got this look on her face, this look of scheming. I knew it. What the heck did I just do? She knew my name because, of course, she knows my name. She's a freaking ancient ghost. And then we asked her for her name. She said she's gone by many across the ages, which is weird because I thought you were human. Dragon Priestess is one. Okay, now the music is getting intense and ominous. Granter of Light, the Ancient One. Witch Queen. That doesn't sound good. Okay, lady, just who the heck are you? She's a freaking dragon! And she looks like a mean dragon, dude. Oh my god, what have I done? I'm gonna have to move out of Mistria. I've doomed these poor people. Okay, so part of me felt like maybe she could be a dragon, but I was also kind of hoping she wasn't. The design is cool, but she looks terrifying, bro. Caldaris at least looked peaceful and kind. And I just now noticed She's the last romantic option in the game? What the actual hell? Okay, Seridia, I'm not your Dragonsworn. I'm freaking Caldaris' Dragonsworn. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here and just claim me like I'm the last dinner roll on the table. She then tried to reassure me that she wouldn't harm me, but what about everyone else? You tricked me! How am I supposed to trust you when you literally tricked me to free you? There was obviously a good reason why she was locked away for so long, and I wouldn't have to be in this predicament if my character would have just asked questions. Also, what the heck is happening to the town behind her? She went on to say she was sealed away at the bottom of the ruins for centuries, left there to rot, and never imagined that an earthquake would reveal her shrine, or that I would appear at the same time magic began to bleed through the seals. Because of that, she was able to gather enough power to call out to me and manifest an appearance that would be convincing enough to warrant us to help her. You mean to trick me, Seridia. You played me like a fiddle because my character is a dum-dum. Then out of nowhere, Caldaris appeared. Are you here to save me? Oh, he is gonna be so mad at us. Seridia then began laughing at Caldaris. I am going to end her. Oh no, he's disappointed with us. Steamy? This is why we need to start asking more questions. I hope we learn something from this world-ending experience. He did say that his powers and memories are beginning to return to him, so that's good. I did good then. And he was the one who sealed Mistria? Or I guess he sealed Seridia? Or both? Ooh, it's getting interesting. I'm sorry, but there is no way in all of Aldaria that I could believe Caldaris to be a traitor or a bad person. I just cannot see that being true. Still, she branded him as a traitor to his kind and to his queen, and found it very interesting to see him in mortal form, as apparently he was critical of her in the past for doing just that, walking around as a mortal. He told me all of that was true, and that in order to save us, he had to give up his immortality. No! You can't put that on me! You gave up eternity, basically sentenced yourself to death to save me? Oh my god, Caldaris! How am I supposed to respond to that? This is so upsetting. I have to serve this man for the rest of my life. I owe him my freaking life. He saved me from a failsafe he set up to keep this witch at bay, and I just let loose an insane, vengeful dragon lady because, once again, I don't ask enough questions or think critically about suspicious situations. But he stands on business and called her out, saying she was the first to betray the dragons. Ooh, please do tell. Apparently, her betrayal came from her taking on mortal form in order to crown herself Witch Queen. Usurper! With each successful incarnation, she accumulated more and more power, causing untold suffering to those who the dragons swore to protect. She was the one who disrupted the harmony and balance of the world by being greedy, and so Caldaris found no other option but to seal her along with her source of power, the magical gateway. That's why she didn't want him knowing. See? I should have just freaking talked to him. Man, what a mess. In the process, he also sealed himself away. And I will pay him all heed, you trickster. She admitted that she did enjoy taking on mortal form, while Caldaris preferred to stay in draconic form, hiding away in the forest, away from people, saying he was no fun. What are we, 5? Death and rebirth had no personal meaning to her, and she said she's lived over 1,000 lives. And her humanoid form? Whoa. It's very juniper-coated, but in a more evil, scheming dragon god kind of way. It's very risque. She looks cool. Definitely not Mona's attire like Caldaris chooses to appear in, but it definitely matches her personality. Caldaris then told her to stay away from me because he's so protective and caring. I'm so sorry, Caldaris. I got us into such a huge mess. Uh-oh. This is awkward. I mean, do I get a say in this? Because I'd 100% choose Caldaris any day. So I've been doing the exact same thing for her as I've been doing for Caldaris without realizing it. The dragon statue and the mines, those perks, they were from Seridia's statue. But I helped Caldaris first, and I didn't even know you were a dragon, Seridia, so why don't I get a say in this? Am I not able to choose? Man, I don't want to be her dragon sworn. She then tried to get me to her side by making Caldaris seem like a bad guy, and it is not happening. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can make me hate this precious dragon man. She then went on to say it's because of her that magic now exists in this world again, and asked me to sever. Are you crazy? Even Juniper wouldn't behave this way. Lady, you are off your rocker. And why the hell am I wagging my finger at Caldaris? I am getting kind of annoyed at how this is playing out so far. Like, why are we just blindly trusting this dragon who's shady as all hell, tricked us to get what she wanted, and yet we're demanding Caldaris give us answers instead of being more critical of the Witch Queen who was locked away for hoarding magical power? I don't get it. But let's continue and hear his side of the story because I have a feeling it's going to make me like him even more. Oh, we're getting a flashback? That's cool. We're in the Glade area where we found the final piece of the Dragonsworn armor, and we see the head priestess, who must be the woman Seridia was using to fool us with. Caldaris in dragon form and the Dragonsworn of that time period were also there. She said that they needed to begin preparations at once, and every day that passes, Queen Seridia draws more and more magic through the gate, thirsting for more power. Everything she was doing was further disrupting the balance of the world, and Caldaris didn't want to stand by any further as Seridia continued to tear this world apart, and decided that they had to seal her away, even if that meant sealing away the source of all magic alongside her. There didn't seem to be any other way to go about the situation, unfortunately, so they moved forward with their plan. He then apologized to the priestess, saying she needed to persevere through the coming trials, saying that Seridia's nobility will not be able to sustain the current power they have without magic, and they'll begin looking for Caldaris, hoping to make a pact with him. The current Dragonsworn and Caldaris were determined to ensure that balance remains to the world, no matter how long it would take them. I was just sitting with my thoughts for a moment after listening to the priestess's voice and looking at her face and her brooch. It reminds me an awful lot like Celine's. The voice and the little firefly brooch thing especially. So maybe there's a connection here. The priestess then informed Caldaris that she would begin the preparations for the underground seals and then bid them farewell. This is kind of sad. It's like their final goodbye to each other. Now we're back to the present day, and Caldaris said he did not foresee events playing out in this sort of manner. He was convinced that magic would one day return and naturally flow back into the harmony with nature as light and dark balance each other out. And then everything around us turned purple and went into maximum hyperdrive. Oh my god, I'm gonna puke. The flow of magic began to surge, too much too quickly, and without a seal to hold the magic back, it's extremely unstable. Seridia said the magic around us was forming into a seismic wave? What? An earthquake made of magic? And because of that, Mistria will most likely be destroyed? No! My boyfriend is down there! I doomed all of those poor people! Seridia then said we could stop it by uniting our powers together to neutralize the wave of magic, and then we quickly saw everyone in town panicking, thinking it was just a normal earthquake again. This is way worse! I'm so sorry! It's all my fault! So Caldaris said we needed to put aside all the drama and work together to protect Mistria. This is what I was born to do. To fix problems that I caused because I'm stupid. We then appeared in the middle of the fountain in front of everyone. The secret's out! There's dragons all around us, March, and I did something bad and I'm trying to fix it, but I'm a bit busy right now, so we'll talk soon. I promise I'm not a freak. Please don't break up with me. Seridia, I swear, This wouldn't have happened if you didn't trick me to free you in the first place. Cal mentioned that the gate between worlds is too dangerous to leave open, but closing it would cut off magic to the world, and thus he seemed conflicted. Seridia then said she would forego the title of queen during this iteration of her life, and that she would return to live above ground, refusing to be sealed away again. And he said he wasn't planning on sealing her. He probably doesn't have the power or means to do so, even if he wanted to right now. So a truce then? He's not the biggest fan of that idea, and I don't blame him, because can we really trust her? Same with Seridia. She said she wanted to punish him, but that he's already punished himself enough? Did you have time to think about your actions a bit while you were trapped down there? Such a fast turnaround, though, in an almost non-believable type of manner. I'm getting a bit of whiplash from this sudden change of heart, honestly. Well, I guess I'm both of their dragonsworn, and it's their duty to protect me as I help them out in return. He also said that neither of them should repeat their past mistakes and to protect this world instead, and that sounds like a smart, safe option where no one dies, so I approve. So next, we need to go and apply a barrier to the gate so that the seismic magic attack doesn't happen again. So we added a cool looking magic barrier to the gate, and Caldaris said it will need to be monitored regularly to ensure it remains stable. Seridia said she'll take care of it, but I still don't really trust you. So is she mortal too, or will she live forever unlike Caldaris now? Oh my god, that still makes me so sad. And it's very, very concerning to me if she is still immortal. Seridia then said it was time for her to get settled into her new humanoid life, and I don't think she'll be walking around freely quite yet. When I see Caldaris walk amongst the town, then I'll assume she will too. Oh, so this little area is going to be her new home, huh? I was wondering when we were going to be able to go up those broken steps. Caldaris then thanked me for everything, but I feel like I should be thanking him, honestly. I feel like I betrayed him, and yet he is still so loving and kind. And with him around, Mistria is going to feel extremely protected and safe. The kind guardian this town deserves. My number one when it comes to the title of Dragonsworn. And he can walk around freely then? He offered to walk me to my farm and then said he no longer needs to be confined to the deep woods. Finally! Also, everyone did see us hovering over the fountain, so there's that. I want to see everyone's reactions. This is wonderful. There was a heart crystal in my house when I woke up. I gotta go talk to March. Oh my god! He's in the inn! He's in the inn, you guys. It's happening. He's walking around. Oh, I need to go see it with my own eyes. Oh my god. It's like nothing freaking happened. There's just a dragon casually eating at the freaking dinner table with the adults. I thought there would be more of a, I don't know, like a town meeting or cutscene for him to introduce himself. Not just eating strawberry shortcake next to Valen. What in the world? So let's talk to Caldaris, who just decided to fit in like a normal human, which I don't mind. I love him, but in reality, he has a tail and horns and sticks out like a sore thumb, so, you know. Anyways, he was talking about how he realized his decision to seal Seridia had unforeseen consequences for humanity, and got to thinking if he made the right choice many years ago. If I was in his shoes, I may have done the same thing. I don't think he meant any harm to come from it, so I told him he made the best choice he could given his circumstances. And he started getting all mushy. Stop it, Cal! Oh my god, I'm so happy to see him out and about though. I'm sure everyone will have something to say about it, so let's go talk to everyone. Valen was worried about my well-being and wanted to make sure I was okay, so she started checking me over. I told her I was just tired, but other than that, I'm okay, I think. So the whole town did see me appear above the fountain. That would leave them all with a bunch of questions, no doubt. And so I told her everything that happened. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do this with everyone. Today is gonna be a long day. But she thanked me for everything I did and for saving Mistria, and that I'm important to everyone here as well. Fallon! Oh, you're too kind. I'm gonna cry. And hey, I didn't need any of your special elixir to save me this time around. So I went around talking to everyone, giving them the rundown. If I summarized everything everyone said, we'd be here forever. And this video is already going to be super long. But it was basically the same thing. Them asking what happened, me telling them the tale of becoming a dragon sworn, them thanking me, being worried or trying to protect me. All very sweet stuff. Raina told me she'd always be here to talk to me. Ulrich praised my ability to stop an earthquake. Celine said she had a bad feeling that day, and a few minutes later, the earthquake happened. I swear there's some sort of connection with Celine and the priestess. Maybe they're ancestors or a reincarnation? That would be cool. Juniper seemed excited that Seridia, the former witch queen, is now living in Mistria and wants me to introduce her. Maybe not the brightest idea to have those two being friends. Sounds like a bad idea. She did say she was happy I didn't perish though, and did a great deal helping Mistria. Thanks, Junie. I then went to see March, and he seemed so frazzled and scared about my safety. Oh my gosh, he was worried sick about me. And then to see me hovering in the air with two mysterious dragons, he probably thought he hit his head hard on the pavement during that earthquake. So I told him the truth of everything that happened, and he seemed shocked. I mean, I feel like most people in Mistria are just accepting dragons and magic being a normal thing way too easily. I'd have a lot of questions and probably be a bit scared and cautious, but that's just me. He then apologized for misjudging me when we first met, and I told him he was worth the work. I liked that response. But he still wanted to apologize and recognized it was pretty low and harsh for him to treat me like that. I like how March has been doing a lot of self-reflecting in his dialogue. It's lovely to see. And after he thanked me, he super mega blushed and said that one day he hopes that he can properly make it up to me. What do you have in mind? Huh? Why are you blushing so deeply, boyfriend? That was sweet though, truly. I bet you the dialogue changes with each character depending on your relationship status with them. Poor Miss Adeline actually seemed scared and nervous, so I reassured her that everything is good. Yes, dragons might be among us, but they're chill. Well, one is super chill. The other one is most likely a work in progress and needs her powers taken away from her. She said she wanted to organize a welcoming committee for the two. Girl, that's a fantastic idea. Please, I want to see a proper cutscene of everyone welcoming them to town. It would be so fun and cute, and Caldaris deserves it. She also said she needed to write a letter to her parents to explain what's going on. Can you imagine receiving a letter like that from your daughter? I think she must have gone insane. Reese was really caring and said it was an inspiration. You inspire me too, Reese. Island wanted to know all the juicy details, and he was so excited to hear that there was a second dragon living in town. These people are way too trusting. She's the former Witch Queen, Island. Maybe Island can help me convince her to be a good and caring dragon like Caldaris. Maybe. But I like that he seems happy to meet them. His cheery demeanor is bound to make Seridia crack her evil outer shell just a tiny bit. When I finished checking in with everyone, I ran into Caldaris again, and he told me the rude manner in which Juniper came to introduce herself to him. Oh my god, how embarrassing. And then I found Juniper, and she insulted him, saying he wasn't how she thought he'd be, but rather demure, and he served her burnt cookies with oversteeped tea. Hey! He's never had to be human before. Give the man a break, Juniper. And she called him a nerd. A nerd? Juniper, you're talking to a freaking dragon. A dragon! Wow, I can't believe you. Okay, the final conversation I have for the day before I go back home and not talk to anyone for at least a week is Seridia, and she has her fall outfit on now. It's like dragon wings for her shirt, if you want to call it a shirt. She said thank you for freeing her. Yeah, sure. And reassured me she intended to keep her promise. please, I seriously hope you do. And she told me that she's had a long time to consider what led to her imprisonment. She had a lot of time to do some deep and personal reflection while trapped in Crystal. Yet she still tricked us into freeing her, so I don't know. And I told her that I'm glad she's changing her ways for everyone's sake. Instead of ruling, she now wants to focus on investigating new forms of magic, and that makes me a tad nervous. But maybe she can use that time to find ways to help people instead. While in the area, I wanted to see what her home looked like, and I saw a window that looked like it led to the void, and it did, I think. But I'm also floating above the town once again with all the pixelated images down below me, and I don't know why, but I feel like this is a graphical bug, and it shouldn't look like this. Shouldn't it be the stars and the black darkness of the void? But there's a fire inside this area with a set of dragon wings, and it says I may be able to use it later on. Intriguing. Maybe this is where I can learn new spells or forge new items. And this space is literally a dragon's hoard. Look at all of the gold and gems. What dragon did these bones belong to? This is spooky. Okay, I think I'm ready to take it easy the rest of this playthrough. Do a bit of decorating, a bit of foraging, searching for artifacts, and prepping for the final update. I started off the morning looking for the last date inspiration item and artifact in the deep woods. Yet again, no luck. The RNG on these two items is crazy. From there, I decided to go visit a workbench and craft some more items to decorate the farm with. And for a few days, that's all I basically did. Test out pathing and try to map out things in my mind that would make the farm look cute, but organized at the same time. My cranberries and onions were ready to harvest today, which is wonderful. And as for the pathing, I ran out of crafting materials. Can you believe I'm out of stones? Also, not really sure that I like how this looks. I can't make up my mind. And well, you may be wondering why my game is zoomed out once again. That is because we are going to do a bit of fairy bee hunting today. I need to find at least 4 to add to a beehive, and they are only found during the fall, so we're going to use my favorite little cheese method of going back and forth from the Narrows to the Western Ruins to try and make at least one spawn. And I went back and forth until around 8 p.m. and didn't find a single fairy bee. It'll appear when I'm not looking for it, I'm positive. I also went through my barns and coops and sold a bunch of animal products because I'd like to get a few more seeds planted tomorrow. And at the end of the night, I ranked the town up by 2 ranks to level 94. The next morning, Raina showed up to remind me that the Harvest Festival was soon approaching. Aw, I love the Harvest Festival. It's so cute. So we'll be sure to attend that. I went to the general store and bought a bunch of seeds alongside some fruit saplings, found what herbs and flowers were common forageables during the season, and surprisingly, I was able to turn all but 1 into seeds. So I went ahead and planted everything, didn't really have much of a layout in mind, and I started to lose track of which pig seeds were which. I'm truly not loving the layout of this flower garden, so it's gonna get reworked next season. Same with the beehive placements. They look out of place, but for now, they shall suffice. And tomorrow, we're gonna place a lot of our chickens into daycare, and once again, try for a seasonal variant. The next morning, I woke up and transferred a bunch of my chickens in and out of daycare because we are going to try breeding 3 sets of golden chickens at once to better our odds, and 2 sets of both cows and horses to try and get the missing variants faster than normal. So I went ahead and started feeding all my animals their treats, and I was only able to breed 1 set of cows since my other tier 3 cow isn't quite at 2 hearts yet, so we'll need to wait a little longer. I also stopped by the forge to craft the last few Mistral tools I needed for my collection, and it says we're only missing 1 more item, and that has to be the Void Sword we can craft at the Dragon Forge. It requires 5 Void Pearls, and I'm all out, so we'll save that for another day. I then planted the last 2 fruit trees in my animal area, meaning I have 1 of each fruit tree planted here, which is wonderful, and we'll plant some more fruit trees on the farm in the coming days. The last bug I'm missing is called the Biggest Beetle, and it can only be found using legendary bug pheromones, which I currently don't have access to. But you know what I do have? A bunch of legendary bugs in my inventory. So I'm gonna fill up all of my terrariums with legendary bugs for now. Plus, having legendary pheromone can help me catch the 4 fairy bees I need for the apiaries. told you it would appear when I wasn't looking for it. All right. 3 more fairy bees needed for the season. We have an extremely large harvest today, which is always so much fun. And we got a butt ton of wheat and rice, so I'm gonna go process them at the mill, turn the wheat into bread, and I'm not sure if I can use the rice for anything, but it sells for more than its base price, so we're just gonna sell it. I would like to build 1 more giant greenhouse in this area before I start planting trees nearby, so I'm hoping I make a decent profit tonight. And I leveled up the town to 95 at the end of the evening. Today is the Harvest Festival, and I barely gathered any queen berries. I have 32, and that's definitely not enough to take first place, but I've been a busy person this year. I'm juggling like 20 different tasks at the moment. All right, let's go attend the Harvest Festival. And oh my god, you guys, Caldaris is here. And Seridia too, but Caldaris. Oh, I can cry. This is so cute. He deserves to be here and have the time of his now mortal life. I got 2nd place, which is better than I thought. I didn't even think I'd place, to be quite frank. And that's right. I forget Island is usually the winner of this contest. I always think it's gonna be Reina, but Island is the sweets guy. Oh, he congratulated me. Ugh, I'm so happy he's out and about. It feels so weird, but also so right, you know? And because I was in such a good mood, I bought him a special treat so he can enjoy the festival. Have a good time, Caldaris. I gotta go find March so we can do our cute little pixelated dance. Like, it never gets old. It's too precious looking. And I got a harvest dance date photo. Did I get one last year? God, it's been so long, I can't remember. Cute, nonetheless. Would have been fun to have a photo mid-twirl or something. Seridia seems a little nostalgic with the queenberries, due to the name, I'm assuming. Maybe they were named after her because she liked them so much? I also bought a bunch of pumpkins from Hayden's pumpkin patch once again. I already have so many, but more can't hurt. I didn't talk to Caldaris once more before leaving because I'm so happy to talk to him out in public. And he told me queenberries have ancient traces of Seridia's magic on them. So Juniper was right when she said she sensed magic from the berries. Dang, she has a strong magical intuition. I then saw Celine talking with Seridia, and there was a convo bubble above their head, and I couldn't help but snoop. Celine said that when they tend to talk with one another, she gets this faraway look in her eyes if she's seeing something or someone else. I swear, game, if I am right about this, yeah, something has to be going on with Miss Celine. I then found Juniper having a convo with Seridia, and she wasn't sure how to address her at all. Oh, so you can be respectful towards this lady, but call Caldaris a nerd? Okay. She said she has agreed to forego all of the titles Juniper suggested, and to just call her Seridia. At least she's being a little bit humble. For a witch queen dragon, I suppose. And everyone has been super nice to Caldaris, inviting him into their home. He's so thankful too. Okay, I need to stop for the day. This is too wholesome, and I'm just elated with joy for our beautiful dragon man to whom I owe my life. Make sure you grab seconds and even thirds at the harvest table, Caldaris. You deserve it. The rest of the evening, I went around harvesting wood, and tomorrow I'm gonna go to the mines because I desperately need stones for crafting projects. I have a perfect pink diamond I still need to find, along with a few more artifacts. The next morning, I woke up and watered my crops, then headed to the mines. The goal today is to gather as much stone as possible while also looking for artifacts and a perfect pink diamond. While looking for all these things, I found a crafting recipe for a Witch Queen moon lamp, 1 void pearl, and that's about it. No new artifact, no perfect pink diamond, but I gathered around 200 pieces of stone. I did, however, decide to pick up the last few combat perks from Seridia's dragon statue in the mines, and one was called Friend-Shaped, which allows monsters to drop skins for our pets, where we can make them look like monsters? That's fun. Don't know if I'll use it because Pecan is already such a cutie, but it may be fun to test out. And all of our new babies were born on the farm, so let's see what we got. First, we got our tier 4 silver cow. Yes! We'll name her Poof. Our first chick is another golden. Second chick is also another golden. And the third one is 2. Why am I so unlucky in this game, bro? I just want 1. That's not too much to ask for. Okay, and for our horses, we received a tier 3 pink and a tier 3 purple. I'll give them better names later once I decide which ones will be staying in the barn permanently. So we did good with the horses and cows and had awful luck once again with the dang chickens. All right, the next morning I gave my terrariums their requested items and got my first batch of legendary bug pheromones. So let's test them out. First pull was a speedy snail. The second and third bottle provided me with 2 fairy bees. And the last bottle, I got the final legendary bug I needed with the pheromones, the biggest beetle. So I went and dropped this little guy off, completing the bug pheromone set, where I received this really pretty butterfly wings cosmetic item. While in the museum, I also noticed Caldaris speaking with Island and Errol, and so of course I had to go say hi, and he was thanking Island for lending him his history books so he could catch up on all the events he missed while he was sealed away. And like, why is that so freaking precious? Island, who is enamored by history and the time period when Caldaris was alive and well, teaching him about mystery and history and all the things he missed while he was asleep. They're both teaching each other things. Oh my god, I could die. I love people interacting with him. I love it so much. He also asked him what the political landscape looked like when he was around during the Draconic Age, and he said it was all very green, and Island got excited, saying that he must have witnessed the birth of a new nation, but he was simply talking about the actual landscape and not the politics of the time. So back to the museum donations, we have 100% completed the flora category and the insects category. We have 3 fish left to find in the fish bait set and a few different artifacts in 4 various sets to locate. So we will most likely not be completing the museum this time around, but we are close, which is wonderful. Less to search for when the full game releases. From there, I had a huge harvest to gather, so I went ahead and did that. And on my way to the mill, I found another fairy bee, so I officially have the 4 I need to fill up a beehive. I'm like so low on materials right now though. I'll need to go gather more iron, I think it is, along with more stones. When leaving the mill, Caldaris walked by. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to talk to him every chance I get to acquire insights into this newfound freedom. He mentioned how he's surprised that the town has taken a liking to him rather quickly despite his appearance. I did find it a tad funny how no one was even a little nervous or scared by the fact that both him and Seridia just exist here all of a sudden, but whatever. He then said maybe they've accepted him rather easily because they've always sensed him around. That could be a good explanation. Like they automatically feel protected and safe around him, and perhaps his presence is simply comforting because they've always felt it nearby. I like that theory. And since it was Friday night at the inn and everyone was gathered together, I felt it was a good opportunity to hand out gifts. If the last major story update has taught me anything, it's that leveling up your friendships is very, very important, just in case we have another mission in the future that has the same requirements. So I passed out a gift to everyone and love seeing both Seridia and Caldaris hanging out for Friday night at the inn. They've definitely adapted to modern society rather well. Maybe we'll get some Friday night at the inn storylines with these 2 once the full game releases. I handed out a coffee to Adeline the next morning and reached 7 hearts with her. Glad to see it. Lewis's stall had 2 fall items for sale, so I snagged them, and they look pretty cozy. And why is the jacket actually really cute? I look even more fall coated, which makes my heart sing. Freaking finally! And of course I find it right after I go on my gem cutting date with March. This took me so long to find, but at long last, we have found the last date inspiration item. Well, we'll check it out next week. Something new to look forward to. For the rest of the day, I went back to the mines to gather materials, found a ruins pot recipe, a faux spell fruit recipe, and 2 void pearls, so I got a few cool things. The next morning, I made my way to talk to Reese about buying yet another large greenhouse. It's a lot of money, yes, but it pays for itself over time. And I was having an internal debate on how I wanted to place the greenhouse, but I figured I could always move it later if I wanted, so this is good for now. I stopped by the stone refinery in the mines to craft the last needed glass and refined stone for my greenhouse, alongside a few essence stones for my sprinklers, and there goes all of my stone. I never used to run out. I just want to craft pathing game. Is that too much to ask? I think I'm just gonna buy a bunch from Reese tomorrow after my next order of business. Any of my chickens who are not golden and any who are young are going into daycare. Actually, never mind. They aren't because this is still bugged. My game got stuck in the menu again, so I get to play this day all over again. What a joy. The devs have recognized this bug and are working to fix it, but it's worked fine the last few times for me without any problems, so I guess I just got unlucky today. Anyways, next time I'm gonna fill both coops with just golden chickens and breed 8 sets at once, giving us 8 chances to get seasonal chicks. And if I don't get a single seasonal variant, then I'll know this game truly hates me. Well, I replayed the game and purchased the greenhouse, bought a bunch of stone from Reese, and put up a gate around my flower garden for the time being. I know barn and coop animals won't eat your flowers, but I planted rosemary in my garden and they will definitely eat that. And the gates will prevent them from doing so. I then made some more stepping stones once again, started placing them down, and continued to not like how they looked. The next morning, I harvested all of my crops, let my animals out to roam, fed my terrariums, and used the pheromones to grab a few more legendary bugs. I thought legendary bait was a thing, but I guess it isn't, so I'll probably need to switch 2 of these out with other bugs soon, because I still need fish bait to find a few items. From there, I went to the town request board because I haven't checked it in a while. And I'm sorry? Seridia put up a request for a bomb? Adeline girl, you approved this request? Oh my god. Okay. Is it wise to give the evil witch queen dragon who is still a little sus a freaking bomb? I don't even think I've come across this item quite yet. Where the heck do I even get it? And you gotta be kidding me. Seriously? What? No! The crown can eat my stones because there is no way I'm giving 100 of my stone paths to the capital. Adeline? I had to mine so many boulders. I had to spend 10,000 tesserae at Reese's shop just to purchase rocks so I can make these paths. Ugh, they're gonna have to wait. This game likes to mess with me, I swear. All right, let's finish Maple's sunflower request at least. And on the way to find her, I gave Luke one of the fairy bees I caught since I know a bunch of his loved items are the legendary bugs. I then cooked 5 quiches to ship from the previous crown request and spent more time on my pathing project, but I think tomorrow I'm gonna start planting trees and decorating around the greenhouses. Okay, let's plant some trees. I do want to add one more greenhouse in this area, but we can start planting a few things around these too. I want to plant 1 of each fruit tree, a few normal trees, and then down the line, I'll add cute decor and faux plants. We'll see what it looks like in a few days and make changes from there. My pumpkins and sweet potatoes were finally ready to harvest, so I went ahead and grabbed them all, and we'll plant our broccoli seeds tomorrow along with some of the extra flower seeds I have on hand. I went ahead and planted my broccoli alongside a water sprite in one of my greenhouses and added some of the fall flowers as well. From there, I figured we could test out the museum duplicator with a few artifacts, as I've yet to do that, and I can't do my chicken experimentations right now. So let's gather a few and see what they look like when displayed. So I started throwing stuff in, went home and placed it down, and they all seem to be like museum display pieces attached to a stand to showcase the objects. That's kind of cool. A fun little addition to the game. I truly need to start decorating the interior of my home again, but that will be a project for next time. I then checked in with Adeline to finish the crown request, made my rounds to the deep woods, hoping I'd find the last artifact. I did not, and decided to see what I needed to craft some more apiaries and terrariums. And I'm missing iron ingots, so perhaps we'll go mine for some tomorrow. And even though it's late in the season, I wanted to get a little festive, so I placed a few pumpkins down and then headed to sleep. The next morning was harvest day, so I did my usual routine, found Caldaris in the bathhouse, and there were 2 chat bubbles available, so I listened to both convos. One with Juniper, where he asked her to recreate a nostalgic scent, and she was respectful and didn't call him a nerd, so brownie points to her. And Celine asked him if he gets lonely out in the woods, and he simply stated he's surrounded by memories, nature, and the town on all sides of the woods, so he doesn't feel alone. Very nice conversations to listen in on. Then I went to the mines to go and gather iron ore so I can craft more apiaries and terrariums. And during my time down here, I came across a ritual chamber and found a new ritual artifact, a scepter, some new cosmetics, dragon cleric earrings, and a pet skin, the Orclod. maybe pecan can go as an ore cloud for Halloween. I did grab a good amount of iron ore too, which is what I wanted, so overall, a pretty good day. I decided to buy one more large greenhouse. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it quite yet, but I'd like at least 3 large ones on the farm, and I've been making money rather fast, so I'm not too worried about funds, which shocks me to say. I then smelted some iron ingots, made one more apiary to place our fairy bees in, and 2 more terrariums, so we can make some fish bait once again. I then went home, placed down my apiary, and filled it with fairy bees. I feel so accomplished. I filled one of the terrariums with a mix of common and uncommon bugs, and the other one with rare bugs, so we'll get a good mixture of fish baits. And I may actually end up moving all these trees once they start to bloom, because I think a 3rd greenhouse would look nice here. Don't you? I then crafted a few more essence stones. I need to add them inside the barns and coops again, and a few of my sprinklers are going to run out soon as well. And then I headed to sleep. Tomorrow is the last day for this playthrough, and yet I still feel like I have so much left to do. Today is the final day, so let's make the most of it by passing out gifts, going on the new park date, and chatting with the town. I handed out a few items, then went on my date with March at the new park spot we unlocked last Saturday, so we could see what it looks like, and it was just us sitting on a little park bench chatting, him giving me a flower and a smooch at the end. Adorable. Also very adorable. The fall colors really complement your hair, March. The follow-up dialogue was cute too. Him saying it was fun hearing stories about my childhood, and I told him I'd like to hear some from him as well. Very wholesome, very fluffy, very much approved by me. And right after that, I talked with Caldaris, and we upgraded our lovely relationship to 8 hearts. Yes! That makes me very, very happy, Caldaris. So, next playthrough, we'll get to his 8 heart event. I also became 5 heart friends with Hemlock, 2 heart friends with Darcy, 2 heart friends with Lewis, and 2 heart friends with Vera. And by the time I was done handing out gifts, it was already 10 p.m., so it took me a long time to give every single person a unique item. But yeah, there we go. 300 days in this amazingly adorable game. This was probably my longest playthrough yet. I'm hoping that's not a bad thing though. I'm someone who likes to try to include as many details of the game and its story in my playthroughs. I am so incredibly excited for the full game to come out in a few weeks, and by the time this video is up, it may already be out, and I'll be playing it, don't you worry. I already have ideas in my mind on how I want to rearrange parts of the farm. I'm overall happy with the animal area, and I may decide to plant fruit trees over here instead of by my greenhouses. I think I may just go for regular trees, faux plants, and decor instead. I also may dedicate a greenhouse just for fruit trees, or have a tree farm section. I don't know. I can never make my mind up. But we'll do a bunch of decorating next time. I'll have more money and resources, so it should be a lot easier. We need to breed all the animal variants and finally get a seasonal chicken. My God, why is it just so hard to get one? Marriage and children are a thing in the 1.0 update. I'm gonna die from freaking cuteness. I can already see it happening. And the main storyline will be completed as well. I'm trying not to harshly judge my criticism of the Seridia plotline too much until the story is completed, because there may be things in it that change my perspective of the current events. I will say though, she has been my least favorite character in the game so far, but that could change. You never know, so I hope you come back for my 400-day playthrough to find out. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.